school sports guru Rich Calkins hosts the High School Scoreboard Show. And don't miss Traverse City West Titan football and boys basketball action. Catch games live or see past episodes on the podcast page. Real sports fans, go to upnorthsportsradio.com.
Find the lowest prices on fall golf deals that rock only at QDealsMI.com. Get a round of golf with a cart at El Dorado Golf Club in Cadillac for just $36. That's $2 a hole. Or get a round of golf with a cart at Sugar Springs in Gladwin for just $25. Or treat your whole foursome for just $75 and save even more. Head to QDealsMI.com for the guaranteed lowest prices for fall golf. Quantities are limited. When they're sold out, they're gone. Only from QDealsMI.com.
Good morning, Northern Michigan, and welcome to Friday Faceoff here on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY. And on our Facebook page, if you want to see two craggly old guys talking about sports. Rich, what is your panic level?
Whoa, these 3-7 in the last 10 for our Detroit Tigers right now.
And the Indians are 12-1.
12-1, exactly. They're doing the reverse almost of what the Tigers did last year. They're doing what the Tigers did last year. It's I'm not at full-out panic mode because we're running out of time for the Indians to try or the Guardians to catch us. But I'm at a 5. I'm at a 5.
Well, if the Tigers just go 4-5 in the last 9 games of the season, and I believe that's what's left, right?
Yeah, and we play the Guardians 3 more times, right?
Uh-huh.
And so
Let me finish the math.
Yeah. Yep.
If we go 4-5,
okay,
which is reasonable to expect, the Guardians have to go 7-3 to overtake us.
Okay.
They're still 2.5 games out of the wild card, so they are almost assuredly going to have to win the division, and we'll see if they could continue to play 700 baseball or 800 baseball. Then hats off to them. The Tigers bats have gotten a little leaky.
They have because our starting pitching in this series pitched really well.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't ask more for your starters to come in and do what they did. They did their jobs.
Yep.
And but the hitting has not just been, the bats have not been there.
No, they haven't been there for a while now, and that's probably the biggest concern.
It is. I mean, right now, Riley Green is such a streaky hitter. You know, when he's hot, he's one of the best in baseball.
Yep.
I mean, he just lights it up. But then when he kind of gets into strikeout mode, Riley Green, it's like, this is right now. It's not a good time for. He had one hit, I think, the entire series.
No, it's leaked into the rest of the lineup, really, other than Torkelson. Torkelson's been hitting the ball pretty well.
Very consistent.
Yep.
The last 8 games, for sure.
They've got the Braves tonight, beginning a 3-game series. Not a the pitcher for the Braves has got like a 5.83 ERA. So hopefully the Tigers' bats can erupt. A couple of wins against the Braves are going to assuage a lot of fears here. It's the last homestand for the weekend, so maybe some of the festivities and the big crowds will take a little pressure off the Tigers. But losing all 3 to the Indians was absolutely the worst case scenario.
It was, exactly. For the doubters out there, it just gave them all the fuel for their fire. But we've had great crowds turning out. Even midday game yesterday on a Thursday, beautiful day. I mean, couldn't ask for better weather.
But it's Schuylkill anyway, so you know.
Right, it was always draws more for sure. And Bybee for the Guardians pitched really well. You know, he also gave up 1 run, struck out 8.
Well, that's the whole linchpin of the game. So the Tigers score their first run in the second inning and have third and second with 1 out, and they don't get another run yet.
No, I know. That just absolutely breaks your back. When you're playing like in playoff mode, those kind of situations, you need to come up and get those key hits. And when that doesn't happen, it just is, it's ratcheted up times 10.
There's no doubt about it. This has been a historic problem for Tigers even when Miguel Cabrera was getting runners over, scoring them from in scoring position, I bet you if you looked over the data over the last 25, 35 years, the Tigers rank at the very bottom of the league in getting runners home from scoring position.
I agree. And I think that's part of the reason why they're so aggressive on the base paths.
No doubt about it.
Because they know that historically we have not been a good team in scoring runs with runners in scoring position. So we take that extra base, forcing that issue a little bit more.
And a couple guys got thrown out in this series.
They did.
However, the Tigers are by far and away the most successful at taking the extra 90 feet in the league. They're like at a 57% clip.
It took some incredible throws from the outfielders, Quan being one of them. That guy, I always, we talk about it all, that what that guy would look like in a Tigers uniform. He is just so good.
Well, he is a Tiger killer. The Indians have a couple of them.
They do.
And it's, the one thing about baseball, the traditional saying, well, there's always tomorrow. Well, we're running, here we're at running out of tomorrows. And like I said, they take 2 out of 3 from the Braves, and it almost shuts the door on the Indians. And I have a funny feeling that the Indians are heading to Minnesota, and the Twins they're not going to sweep the Twins.
And so Twins could be our best friends.
Yeah.
For sure. By how that Colt Keith injury right now, whatever's going with his low back, whatever happened yesterday. So we'll wait to find out there. But we need Kyle Finnegan back in that bullpen too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's happening there.
I don't either.
A few days ago, the word out of the camp was that he was in great shape and he might join the series this weekend. I haven't heard anything since then. Not a yay or a nay. No. So. And Will Vest completely crapping the bed in the extra inning game. That was a head scratcher, although some of the data about what's going on with his fastball in the last month is troubling. His fastball's down about 1.5 miles per hour, and he's gone from a 1.95 ERA throughout this whole season to, since August 1st, 3.19.
Oh, no, that is troubling data for sure. Like you said, you lose some of that speed off your fastball.
We got to have Finnegan back in the bullpen. It's as simple as that.
We do, and then that means probably the movement isn't there as well. Mm-hmm. And then when the ball's looking a little more like a softball coming in there on that fastball, that's professional hitters love it.
Canley has fallen off the. He had a little surge back.
He did,
then dropped off again. It's they keep playing musical chairs, bringing guys up and down,
trying to find that magic potion somewhere.
Well, that has been one of A.J. Hinch's magic potions, and it's just not. A lot of the things that have worked for the Tigers through the run that started everything off last year when they went 31-13. Pulling the right guys off the bench for pinch hitting and for the bullpen movement is just not working. And I guess some of it is to be expected. You just can't be in the right place at the right time every time. Exactly. Although Stephen Kwan can. The catch that he made saved 2 runs in the game on Wednesday. So let's just get a win tonight.
Yes,
that's all, and
that's all we can do.
That's not even what A.J. Hinch is saying to the guys. They're going to be showing up at the ballpark here at noon, and it's just like, let's just make good swings.
Yeah,
let's do the right play in the field. Charlie Morton is pitching. Let's see him get the problem with Morton is he hasn't been his fastball location has not been spectacular.
Right. Certainly the last few outings, no doubt about it. Because he was pitching well for a while there. We're like, all right,
the first three starts that he was outstanding.
And then all of a sudden he's kind of regressed there. And exactly, if it comes down to one thing in locating that fastball, that's what we need. And those are things, little technical things that he can work on and get better at.
Well, pressure, causes you to do things that you normally don't do. Morton, I have a funny feeling, will respond tonight. Yeah. This is a guy who was in Baltimore, and the season was over.
Yes.
And he was pretty much mentioned that his baseball career was over. He was planning on retiring at the end of this year after a miserable year in Baltimore.
Sure.
Now he gets bailed out, shipped to the Tigers, and they still have the opportunity for him to be pitching in a World Series.
Yeah.
So it's time to get your poop in a scoop, and a veteran like Morton needs to have a big outing tonight.
And that is one of the reasons they brought him over, because he has that World Series experience, one of the few guys on the Tigers starting pitching staff. So it's like, look, we're going to lean on you because of that experience of what you went through with the Astros, that we want that in our locker room and in our dugout.
Yeah, the pitching staff as a whole, what they walked seven Indians on Wednesday. That's why they lost the ball game.
And that's just not Detroit Tiger baseball at all. Giving guys free passes like that just is not a recipe for how they win games.
No. But the Indians/Guardians, maybe it'll turn out exactly the opposite of last year. So the Indians get in. We end up playing them and take them in 5 games.
I'll take that, absolutely.
But nothing is guaranteed, and I can't imagine what the psyche of the team will be like if they don't win the division.
Oh, I know it. Leading it from the jump, this year and being as hot as a firecracker there, and then if they were to not win it, you're right. It would be a
shock to the system. That's
for sure.
Some interesting the whole the Tigers aren't the only one that are in a intense position. What's going on now in the American League West is epic. Every day, either the Mariners or the Astros are in first place, and now the Rangers are right there in the mix as well. So.
Yeah, they're only 5 games back right now with both, like you said, the Mariners and the Astros at 84 and 69 tied in the West.
Yeah.
So that is pretty incredible. And, right now Seattle 9-1 in their last 10 ball games.
Right.
And Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, setting all kinds of records. Whenever you beat Mickey Mantle as the best switch hitting power hitter for a season, you've done well.
Yeah.
So Cal Raleigh, you have done that. As he surpassed Mickey,
and as a catcher.
As a catcher, that's just unheard of. The wear and tear that you get as a catcher, and then to have well over 50 home runs, it's just amazing for sure.
I don't see the Astros. Who are the Astros playing today?
Oh, let me check it out here.
I've got the schedule up. I don't see them on there. It's impossible.
Oh, they're playing Seattle.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. A big series for sure. And the Rangers are playing the Miami Marlins. So lots to be said here in the last 9 days. Why is
that is crazy. That's a great matchup late in the season here.
Well, yeah, generally speaking, in the last couple of weeks of the season, you play division. There it is. Seattle's playing at 8-10. Yeah, so those 3 games are going to say a lot about who wins the West.
Wu and Brown are going at it for Seattle and Houston, both of them with the 1.0 or lower whip. So,
hits will be at a premium there. And the Yankees and Boston still battling in the wild card. Toronto looks like a foregone conclusion now. They've stepped on the gas.
Even with Bo Bichette being out the rest of the regular season, that's got to be concerning for them. But again, like you said, they have been red hot and doing well. 3 games up on the Yankees and 6 games over Boston.
Yeah, and Seattle gets a huge break after the series with the Astros. They play Colorado at home.
Yeah, very beneficial. Very beneficial.
But Houston plays the Athletics, so
yeah. If the Tigers know they're a tough out. Even though their record may not be the best, that team, I tell you, put together.
You get to a very funny, and you could certainly see this with the Braves, although I don't know how, if the Braves are playing, they've had a ton of injuries again, 2 years in a row.
Yes.
And I don't know who they're playing out of their 40-man roster, but this is, traditionally where some teams, all they're playing for now is to be a spoiler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And excuse me, the Tigers have played that role many years, and you take great pride in that when you may not be able to get into the dance, into the playoffs at all, but hey, we're going to prevent someone else from getting there to our best.
That really sounds insulting. The Tigers have taken much credit. So Morton goes today. Who's pitching? That means are they going to have Montero pitch on Saturday?
Oh, they might. His last outing was pitched really, really well.
Yeah, Kiter Montero is going to pitch on Saturday. He can be tough.
Hey.
Joey Wentz pitching for the
yes, ex-Tiger.
Yep. He does not have any saves. His ERA, it's the first time he started this year, and his ERA is 5.56. Although, like being an ex-Tiger, he's going to want some of that. And see who's got the Tigers on Sunday. Mize is going on Sunday.
Okay, he's coming off a real good pitching performance.
Yeah. So when we return, we'll talk some hopeful things. A return to glory by the Motor City Kitties. All that and more here on Friday Faceoff on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY, brought to us by TVCAirport.com.
It's time to book your holiday and winter getaway from TVC. This fall, fly nonstop to Boston with JetBlue and experience the vibrant colors of autumn in the Northeast. Choose from top carriers like American, Delta, and United, or enjoy ultra-low fares on Allegiant. TVCAirport.com.
Votes are in for the Traverse City Record Eagles Simply the Best Reader's Choice Contest. It was our biggest year yet. Find out who was voted Traverse City's favorite businesses and professionals during our virtual awards ceremony at the Traverse City Record Eagles page on Facebook Wednesday, September 24th. And pick up our Simply the Best Winners publication in the September 24th edition of the Traverse City Record Eagle. Attend the virtual awards ceremony September 24th at facebook.com/TC Record Eagle.
Who knew? Fresh air is a destination. Breathe in the glacial carved canvas of northern Michigan's finest golf courses and have your breath taken away by scenic vistas from tee to green. The perfect place to perfect your game in more ways than one. The waves, woods, and wonder of Bel Air. Escape every day. Discover the magic of 90 holes at one resort. Shanty Creek Resort in Bel Air and online at shantycreek.com.
Otsego County Sportsplex is your best place for recreation and fitness in northern Michigan. With a beautiful swimming pool, incredible hockey rink, and many classes like karate, yoga, and spinning, Otsego County Sportsplex has activities for all. Reserve the pickleball court or just come by and walk the track. For classes and lessons, space is limited, so call 989-731-3546 today. That's 989-731-3546 or visit ocsportsplex.com.
Configuring the Bluetooth. Deciding who controls the music? Remembering where you parked? Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your vehicle doesn't have to be one of them. So you can get back to more important things, like remembering if you're on the 3rd or 4th level of the parking garage. That's simple human sense.
Visit Cornell Insurance in Grayling at 201 Huron Street next to Burger King or online at cornellinsurance.com.
Hey, it's Anthony Bellino from Spin on Sports, Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show on the Great Voice Radio Network. Heard live weekday mornings from 6 to 9 right here on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY. Whether it's Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Lions, Michigan State, the Big Ten, the Mid-American Conference, all the headlines, all the stories, and always Michigan teams first. It's all right here on Spin on Sports, weekday mornings from 6 to 9 on the Great Voice Radio Network. Heard locally on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY.
Kevin Klein joining me in studio. And Kev, we're not going to bring up the autumn effect. She was great her first week out, and then this week Tigers are having some trouble. We're recording this on Thursday. We're keeping our eye on hopefully Scooble does what Scooble's supposed to do and pull a... It changes everything if they win this game.
Let's just put it this way. We told you at the beginning of the season it was going to come down to the last 2 series, and part of that was because of the Boston trip. So we knew it. We wanted to keep the suspense in play.
And here it is.
So head to Boston on JetBlue for 206.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're going to see a clinch of some type in Boston now, almost certainly. Congratulations to Tamara Sanchez. She won the big package. Our buddy here, Kevin, going to the game on Saturday as well. So I think there's going to be a fair amount of Tiger fans in the stadium.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be rooting them on. We're going to bring it home. So awesome, season to see it wrapped up. And I appreciate Autumn carrying the water while I was over enjoying some
well-deserved time off.
Yeah, some well-deserved time off. But I stayed in touch because of these great people at your stations, your network, your everything.
Thank you.
They kept me being able to watch my son play on the Facebook Live, on Up North Sports Radio, being able to watch it happen. So I thank you and the team for making that happen, which I got to say, Northern Michigan, that is one of the most awesome things we have about sports is this team right here providing it for our high school athletes.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate that. It's a lot of work, but it's worthwhile. And, you got grandparents that don't live here anymore. Anything else, keeping up. I mean, you got a big trip to where they headed, not Grand Haven.
We're going down to Grand Blanc this week. Yep, Grand Blanc. And
I think it's the second biggest high school in the state. So they're going to have to roll up their sleeves and play some hard-nosed football.
West has got a game. It's going to be a battle right on the nose.
Yep.
Hey, when Grand Blanc can use EA Sports to tell everybody what uniforms they're wearing, kind of scares you a little bit. But, hey, anyway, great opportunities, great coverage of high school sports, so thank you for doing that for me.
I know Boston 206 on JetBlue to see that. But and then Cleveland has gotten pretty pricey.
Yeah, well, Cleveland right now, if you want to jump on board today, $579. Remember that was $240.
Well, that's next week. They're in Cleveland next week.
Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah, that's okay.
So if you want to jump on to go to Cleveland, $579, then Boston $206 at the end, and then when you start looking at the Lions schedule, that Monday night game. That's a little pricey to get there, $775, and then we look at.
But that ticket was like $295.
Oh yeah,
3 weeks
ago.
Yeah,
and then we look at the Bengals here in Cincinnati, $269. So again,
there's a deal, and you won't have any trouble getting tickets.
No, there you go. And then you got Kansas City, $419. So still not too bad. That's pretty good. But looking further out into some of the November contests against the Washington Commanders, $249, and the Eagles $313.
There you go.
So I think you got some great fares coming up, some great opportunities to travel, and Lions,
big game on Monday night. Like you said, it's a lot of money to get to to Baltimore, but it's certainly going to be a hell of a game. But they've got some great road games coming up, like you said, Philly and KC, the 2 Super Bowl combatants against our Lions. Sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? When you look at it, even if you were to go and head to that Ravens game, looking at $775 plus the game tickets, to get in, I still think it's cheaper than driving down to Ford Field to see them at home.
I got to leave it at this, Kevin. I just looked at tickets because we're looking to do a promotion with Odawa Casino. I don't know if it's going to come off. But the cheapest tickets for the Pittsburgh Steelers, not standing room only. Standing room only, you can go for $300 a person. Cheapest tickets, $900 for a pair of seats in the third deck.
Wow.
So,
go Lions!
Go Lions! Where do you find out this flight information, Kev?
At tvcairport.com.
There you go. There you go, Rich.
Yeah, always good.
Good to have Kevin back.
Yes, back in the States, and glad that he tuned in to listen to the broadcast there. And yeah, Kevin's just such a great guy.
Well, as you pointed out, it was very gratifying for him to be able to stream his son's performances in 2 games while he was touring the English Isles. So you can do that as well. All of our programming now here on Up North Sports Radio, you can see live on Facebook, video-wise. That's the way the games are. And then we also have them podcasted, so you can see them at a later date on upnorthsportsradio.com, including Finding Fairways, the coaches show that we'll do tomorrow. Scheduling. So some people can't listen.
Yeah.
At the time, or you get to hear it, but a friend of yours did, and you go, "Hey, just go to Up North Sports Radio, and you can check it out." But the Lions. What can you say? It's hard to, after watching the Bears, what they did to the Bears, and what the Packers did to the Commanders, it's hard to, I guess we'll figure out what the Packers and the Lions are like at Thanksgiving. That's what we're going to have to wait.
That's when the rematch.
The way more telling game is going to be Monday night.
Sure is. A place in Baltimore against the Ravens, and the Lions have not fared well there when they've played there. But again, I think it is a real benchmark kind of game for this Lions team early in the season. Because, they had the first game, like you said, against Green Bay. Didn't go so well, but Green Bay's made both teams look very average for sure.
Well, it's the first game out of the box.
Yep. And getting all the new coaches, the signals together, all that stuff with everything. And then you saw what they really opened it up against Chicago. I mean, just absolutely held back nothing. You and I both thought maybe left the key starters in there a little too long.
Yeah.
Get some of those guys that are coming back from injury, get them out, the Hutchinsons and different guys. But seems like we came out of the game reasonably healthy. And it'll be a great Monday night matchup.
Well, hopefully it's a great Monday night matchup. Lamar Jackson has never lost on Monday night.
Yeah.
He is 7-0 with just unreal stats.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to, and like you said, we have not played well in Baltimore. The last time we played there, we got our asses handed to us when they were playing fantastic football.
Yes.
So the defense, it's probably a good thing that we played Caleb Williams before we play Lamar Jackson. Now, obviously, Lamar is a better quarterback in every aspect to Caleb Williams, but they have a lot of similarities.
They do. Those skill sets are similar for sure.
But the other problem is then you got a guy named Derrick Henry. So
he's just a beast.
The guy,
You don't want to be put on the highlight reel.
So the Lions, we're going to need the same offensive output that we had against the Bears.
Right.
Now, the Ravens' defense, obviously, that was game one. They they gave up a crap ton of points to Buffalo. Not so much against the Browns, but the Browns have one of the worst offenses in football.
Yes.
So this has all the aspects of being a shootout.
It does.
Turnovers are going to be critical. Being able to run the ball is going to be critical, but the Ravens were not good at all stopping the run against Buffalo. So if we can have a two-way offense, that's where the Lions are successful. They can play that RPO game or set it up with a play-action pass, and with the weapons that the Lions have in the backfield and in the receiving corps, it's difficult to stop.
Yeah, it was on full display last Sunday.
Why wasn't it on display against Green Bay?
Yeah.
What the hell was going on? They had 3 play-action passes in the entire game against Green Bay.
Was it, I don't know, was it the inability to run the ball early, so then it took them kind of out of their game plan, and then therefore when you can't run the ball...
The Lions aren't really known for getting out of their game plans.
No, they're not. But I tell you, it was really both lines of scrimmage. Green Bay won both lines of scrimmage, and then when that happened, and that typically doesn't happen to Detroit.
No, that's true.
So when that happens, then all of a kind of a monkey wrench gets thrown in the middle of things, and you're like, what the heck's going on here? So I don't know. I think it just things early on didn't go well, and he just couldn't run the ball. And then that play action is no longer useful because they don't care if you're doing play action or not. And then everything went sideways.
I'm surprised. We'll go over the entire sheet here, but the game opened up with the Lions being 6.5-point underdogs. Has been bet down to 4.5, which is surprising to me.
Yeah.
Given, the data that I just rolled out there, Lamar loves the spotlight. Although the Lions have played pretty good on Monday night in spotlight games. So it should be interesting. There's you don't hear about it that much, but I think John Harbaugh is kind of on the hot seat. If the Ravens with a lot of people think that this is the best roster in football, even better than Philadelphia. I don't know if I agree with that.
Right.
But I'm sure they're very close. I mean, the Ravens should not have lost to Buffalo.
No, they let that one get away. I mean, they dominated that game.
Dominated the game
for 3.5.
Watching
3.5 quarters. I'm like, this is over. This is over.
But they, if it's a tight ball game, the Ravens lose those games.
They do for some way, somehow. It's crazy.
Yeah, they find a way to lose games that they shouldn't.
Absolutely. You look at the playoff games in the past.
They have to open up a can.
Mm-hmm.
They even, they didn't. I don't know how much you put into a Cleveland Browns Baltimore Ravens game. I mean, that is a nasty, nasty rivalry. I mean,
it is.
The Browns were,
yes.
The Ravens, they took their team from Cleveland, moved to Baltimore, and the league even thought it was so messed up. We go, okay, you're keeping the Browns name here. We're going to find another team.
That's right.
Yeah. So I don't know how many people remember
left
that
in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and the Browns have an outstanding defense. It was good to see Hutchinson get a sack, but we haven't heard anything out of his camp. Hopefully that knee is fine. That bend back was scary to Rich and I were like,
oh no.
Geez.
Man, the human body is not meant to bend like that.
Not your knee like that unless you're a 6-year-old.
Yes. But again, he said no report on anything, so it seems like he came out of it well.
Yeah, we don't know about Marcus. I don't know if I can play Davenport.
1.5 games.
Yeah.
That's why so many people were concerned about the depth, about the defensive end, because relying on Marcus Davenport, good talent, but it just get injured a lot.
Yeah, he does. So we'll see what happens there. Going to be a must-see TV on Monday night versus the Ravens, and if you're a Tigers watcher, the Tigers are off that day.
Yeah, schedules, perfect schedule makers.
Yes, 100%. When we return here on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Faceoff, we'll go over the rest of the NFL schedule. We'll talk about a pretty big game for the University of Michigan and a whole lot more here on Friday Faceoff, brought to us by TVCAirport.com.
Mowing the yard will no longer be a chore with a Toro Time Cutter, built to tackle big jobs while fitting in small spaces with zero-turn maneuverability. Getting on and off the mower is a breeze with a step-through front end. Comfort comes standard with a seat that provides the ultimate in padding and back support. The Toro Time Cutter is available in a variety of deck sizes and special features. Head to your local Toro authorized dealer, Outdoor Equipment Co. in Houghton Lake, Lansing, and Detroit, or visit OutdoorEquipmentCo.com. Toro, count on it. This has been your Up North Sports Radio Northern Michigan Trail Report, brought to you by your Michigan Toro authorized dealer, Outdoor Equipment Co. in Houghton Lake, Lansing, and Detroit. OutdoorEquipCo.com. Toro, count on it.
I'm Melissa Sullivan, outdoor enthusiast and your host. The fall colors are just beginning to show across northern Michigan. You'll see splashes of fiery reds and brilliant oranges if you explore the trails near Giles, Michigan. This area offers a variety of riding experiences for side-by-sides, Jeeps, ATVs, and dirt bikes. The Giles Trail system is over 50 miles of tight winding trails through forests and tall standing pines. These 50-inch trails are a mix of loose, shallow sand with harder packed sand, especially in the wooded areas, and a few board bridges. The Giles to Roscommon route offers miles of sandy rolling terrain with mixed traffic through beautiful forests. It's perfect for a day trip and connects riders to nearby St. Helen and Roscommon, Michigan. Both the trails and the routes are well marked, and the Roscommon County ORV ordinance allows riding seasonal and county roads at the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. But remember, riding M18 and M76 is strictly prohibited. Expect dusty conditions and dress in layers, as warm, sunny days can quickly give way to cooler evening conditions. Head over to UpNorthSportsRadio.com to learn more about riding the area.
Who can help me with health insurance? Janssen Insurance. What about Medicare? Janssen Insurance. Who can help me with my home and auto? Janssen Insurance. I'm buying a boat, a camper, side-by-side, motorcycle. Who can help with that? Janssen Insurance. I own a business. Who can help me with insurance for that? Janssen Insurance. Call Janssen Insurance today to discuss your needs at 989-348-6711. Request a meeting online or simply stop by the office. We look forward to the opportunity to earn your business.
Hi folks, Jim Jeffries from Michigan Trailers in Traverse City, Northern Michigan's value leader in utility trailer sales. We strive to bring you the best value, and with our buying power we were able to make a special purchase on dump trailers. We have a selection of 7x14, 14K scissor dumps available at just $9,900. These are great trailers at a great price. Move quick. When they're gone, they're gone. See us today on US 31 South across from Menards, Traverse City, or visit us online at MichiganTrailers.com.
Right now, Sunburst Marine is taking pre-orders for the 2026 Avalon pontoon line. Sunburst Marine has sold out of its allotment every year, so now is the time to make sure you get the award-winning Avalon pontoon exactly the way you want it. Sunburst has been servicing, storing, and restoring your boats for over 20 years. Call Sunburst Marine at 989-731-5491 or visit sunburstmarine.com today for inside or outside storage and shrink wrapping of your boats. Stem to stern, we're here for you.
TVC's Tip of the Day. It's time to book your holiday and winter getaway, and TVC is ready to take you there. Whether you're visiting family and friends or chasing sunshine on southern beaches, TVC is the perfect flight for you. This fall, fly nonstop to Boston with JetBlue and experience the vibrant colors of autumn in the Northeast. Or choose from top carriers like American, Delta, and United. Plus enjoy ultra-low fares on Allegiant. Seats are filling fast. Book your holiday and winter travel today. Explore all your flight options at tvcairport.com.
Watch the TC West Titans streaming live at UpNorthSportsRadio.com.
Brought to you in part by the Camera Shop, Traverse City's home for all things photography, helping you capture and display life's most precious moments. CameraShopTC.com.
TC West Titans on UpNorthSportsRadio.com.
Welcome back to Friday Faceoff here on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY, brought to us by TVCAirport.com. Jerry Coyne, Rich Calkins in studio. And Rich, some interesting games on the schedule that we are mandated to talk about.
Yes, they are, JC. NFL never fails in giving you great entertainment. You know, even that game last night, even though, you know.
Oh, it was a great
game.
It
would end up being a really good game, yes, absolutely.
These, you know, the teams that you really need to look out for in these games are the teams that are 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because no matter what, 0-3 is a death sentence.
Yeah, 0-2. If you're a good team, you can come back from that. You can still make the play. But 0-3 is different.
Well, it's hard to, you know, it is different. Obviously, since 2000, only one team. Since the year 2000, one team that started 0-3 has made it to the playoffs.
That's tells
insane.
you. Yeah,
because teams will have 3 or 4 game losses during the middle of the season, and still it doesn't affect them. But for whatever reason, you know,
you have that goose egg in the win column after 3 games. It just something about it just totally demoralizes that whole team.
So, like the first game out of the blocks, the Falcons are at the Panthers.
Panthers,
right?
yes.
Falcons looked really good.
Bijan Robinson finally stepping up to all that hype when he was there.
Well, the thing that stood out for me with the Falcons playing on Monday night or Sunday night against the Vikings is that they generate a pass rush now. That defense is way better.
Right.
Their first 3 picks in the draft this past year were all on the defensive side of the ball. They're all starting. And they're all fast. That defense was super fast.
Yeah. When you got speed flying around to the ball, it shows up on TV.
Well, and it'll really affect a very young quarterback who has to make decisions in 2.5 seconds, or you hold on to the ball and then you get screwed.
You do.
And you sprain your ankle.
You do, and then you're going to miss a couple of games.
So there you go. So and the funny thing is that game opened up at 3.5, and it's been bet up to 5.5.
I see that.
So I think the Falcons are that good. I really do. And the Panthers, you know, there was a lot of hope for them because Bryce Young looked like he was turning the corner.
That last half of the season, much better, but man.
I kind of like the Panthers at 5.5.
Right.
But I've got them on my sheet at 3.5, and I'm taking the Falcons.
Yeah. Yeah. At 3.5, I think you
another
have to.
game that's been bet the other way down because the Browns are in the exact same boat. They're 0-2,
right?
And they've got the Packers coming to town. Now, this is a spot for the Packers to have a little drop off.
It is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have flying high their first 2 games, playing well. Now it's like Cleveland, in my book, is getting 7.5 at home.
Oh, that's been bet down from 9.5 to 7.5.
Oh, okay.
And that's the 0-2 effect.
It is.
You know, that Browns defense can certainly keep that game close,
mm-hmm.
and especially Jordan Love. Can throw, the pick. He threw 2 of them against Lions.
Lions that should have been picked, yes.
Well, one was dropped and the other one
was
pick
but
6
a flag.
Flag on the play. So I think the Browns will keep it within a touchdown.
Yeah. They're very physical.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns are.
The next game on the sheet is the Jags and the Texans. Now, the Texans are 0-2.
They need a win bad.
They need a win bad. The Jags look like they're a team on the rise. Trevor Lawrence not playing, he hasn't risen to the level of Justin Herbert.
No.
But he's playing better.
He is.
And the Jags are playing better. But I honestly, this Houston, that Texans Tampa Bay game was one of the most physical football games I have seen in a long time.
It was.
I mean, there was some ferocious hitting in that game.
The running backs ran physical. That Bucky Irving for the Bucs. Oh my gosh, that little guy.
Fine.
Oh
He
gee.
runs with power. He can juke you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
that move he made to open up to get to 30 yards so they could get into scoring position was one of the best runs I've seen.
It was great, and I think he was a 4th round pick, I believe.
Yeah,
what a find.
We'll talk about the Bucs here in a couple minutes. So I like the Texans getting points.
Yeah.
The Vikings are giving 3 to the Bengals, and I have a funny feeling about Carson Wentz in this game.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see like He's now with KOC.
And look what he did with the neurosurgeon there. I mean, he just...
And he's coming from the Chiefs...
Yep.
Over to that. Did he have a stop in Los Angeles? He might have played.
He may have because I think it's his 5th or 6th team.
His 6th team.
And
he's going to have a start with a different team in 6 consecutive years.
And like you said, Kevin O'Connell proves miracles working with guys that that other people have given up on.
Yeah, Jake Browning has played okay.
Mm-hmm.
This Bengals defense is atrocious.
It is.
The Vikings are at home. I like the Vikes to cover that point spread. The Steelers, what the hell's going on with them?
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy what's going on with them. I mean,
both teams 1-1
defensively.
That is the thing.
Yeah.
Like what happened here?
Yeah.
Is there somebody missing that I don't know about?
They're the highest priced defense in the league.
Mika Fitzpatrick, they shipped out. They got what's his name? Jalen.
Yeah. Used to be with the Rams and
Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
But for some reason, right now that defense hasn't gelled. Now, it could easily gel against the New England Patriots.
It certainly could.
So we'll see what happens. I like the Steelers getting 1.5 here. The Eagles and the Rams probably the marquee game on the schedule on Sunday. The Rams. Are 9-2 in their last 11 games, both losses to the Eagles.
Yes. Yeah, that's
and they're back in Philly. This Philly Philly is ferocious on defense.
Mm-hmm.
But so are the Rams. This is going to be a really good football game.
Yeah, Rams defense is young and really good. I still think that Philly defense on the back end can be had a little bit. If you get enough time, Stafford might be able to pick them apart just a little bit. Because, again, Stafford, he just continues to hang on, showing no ill signs of that bad back he had.
I've been waiting for that to, knock on wood, Jalen Carter could make a chiropractic.
He could change that when they're not even playing. He could,
exactly
do a WWE toss or something. Who knows?
But this is a pick'em game, so you got to take the points if you ask me. Yeah. As I said, the Bucs are playing the Jets. The Jets are in this 0-2 hole. Yes. I think the Jets will play a really good football here. But man, what can you say about Baker Mayfield?
I love it because I love how gritty he is, how tough, undersized quarterback that just gets it done. I mean, he doesn't play like your typical quarterback, man.
He just wants to win.
He does.
I love that he's not doing commercials anymore or anything else. I'm sure he's been getting them offered.
Yeah.
I mean, he's thrown the most touchdown passes in football over the last 3 years.
And no one talks about it. No. He gets no love
he's
for sure.
Starting to get some love now. But, but the Jets are in that 0-2 hole, and I think at least they'll cover the touchdown that they're getting.
Yes.
The Colts in Tennessee, I don't know why...
the Colts haven't punted yet.
No.
That's just crazy. First 2 games.
Well, Shane Steichen is one of these quarterback whisperers.
Mm-hmm.
He's got Daniel Jones, who, it's kind of funny. A lot of people, when Daniel Jones was coming out of college, equated him to, like, Peyton Manning. Because, the Duke's football coach at the time was Peyton's offensive coordinator for a long time. And but Danny can run it.
Oh yeah, he's far more athletic.
Yeah,
than...
and you got Jonathan Taylor there,
just a beast, and that great offensive line.
But the Titans are one of those teams that are 0-2, and they're at home, and you better be careful.
Does the rookie get his first win? The number one overall pick.
Good. The rest of the team, I'm not so.
You see the talent there for sure.
Yeah. I like the points at home as in the 0-2 hole.
Okay.
Raiders and Washington. You got Marcus Mariota going versus the Raiders.
The Raiders.
That was, the quarterback
Gino.
Had
Gino's pizza rolls.
Yeah, they kept flashing up to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And you're alone like, could Brady quarterback this team better than Geno Smith? Or is Brady not in Geno's ear enough? What is the problem there?
It was, that was a poor performance by Geno for sure, throwing 3 picks last week. That's just, horrible for your team. It takes all the wind out of your sails.
And the other thing is Ashton Genty, they can't get him going at all.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because you see, he should be able to run the ball.
There's no doubt about it.
I mean, because there's
I
no
like
excuse.
the Raiders getting the points here. The late afternoon game, this is a great game, the Chargers-Broncos.
It sure is.
The Broncos have not played great football so far, and the
No.
Chargers have.
I mean, how's that for the Chargers to start off your season with your 3 divisional foes? I mean, that's crazy when you think of this.
They win this game.
Oh,
talk about being in the catbird.
You bet.
And I like it.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting, Rich. The Chargers are playing in L.A. There hasn't really been a home field advantage.
Right.
If the fans are going to show up and show out for the Chargers, this is the game.
Mm-hmm.
Normally you'd see this, the place is going to be packed with Bronco fans.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I think Jim Harbaugh does what Jim Harbaugh does. He turns around teams quickly.
Yeah. You got the Seahawks. Man, that defense really looked great against the Steelers.
It played so much better.
Yeah, it did. Against the Saints team that, I don't know.
Yeah, they're
in trouble.
I think they're competing, obviously, for the number 1 overall pick. Who's it going to be now? Yeah. Prior to the college season, there was like 8 or 10 of them. Now it's like, I don't know.
And then the Bears are 0-2 at home versus the Cowboys. If
Matt Eberflus comes back coaching that defense,
is he going to actually play defense? Because
he might have to.
I mean that game, the defense that they attempted to play against the Giants was horrific.
Unbelievable.
If the Bears can't outscore the Cowboys in this game, the noise is going to get so loud in Chicago. They're 0-2 here. I kind of like the Bears.
Yeah, the Russell Wilson threw for 450 yards, and just threw a horrible pick at the end in overtime. But
a really interesting game. The Cardinals, who are 2-0, and the Niners that are 2-0, with Mac Jones. Threw 45 times. It was the Saints, though.
It was. But Kyle Shanahan, one of those guys that can coach up quarterbacks.
Yeah, he can, and I don't know what the Niners' record is against the Cardinals, but it's the Cardinals haven't won a lot of them. Mm-hmm. So I like the Niners getting the points here. Chiefs, Giants, people that I don't know why 6.5 I don't think is enough.
Yeah.
If the Giants can't open up a can here, the Chiefs on the Giants.
Then they're in worse trouble than.
But an interesting stat: the Chiefs have never won in. New
York.
Yeah,
I saw that.
That's 7 versus the Giants in New York. And then we already talked about the Ravens game. Anything could happen in this game.
It could.
Yeah. It really could.
Yeah. Lions come out with a win. That would be absolutely huge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And but like we said, the Ravens are really tough on Monday night at home. When we return, we've got some look at some NCAA football, but I want to take a quick look at Shanty Creek. I'm playing there on Sunday.
Because your Sunday's open.
My Sunday's open. So, and that the $35 October special from the 1 to the 19th is still available. In fact, I was just talking to Steve Schuerman, who is the PGA Director of Golf, and there are still some tee times for $35 around.
Take
at
advantage.
Any of the courses. Get out there and do this, folks. I'm telling you, it is going to be so beautiful out at Shanty Creek in October that the golf is almost secondary. So pick a day, whether the weekday or the weekends, and for just $35, and that includes your cart. So it gives you plenty of money left over for the 19th hole. Go to shantycreek.com. Also, the chairlift rides begin next Saturday and Sunday through the 19th. Back after these on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Faceoff.
Who knew? Fresh air is a destination. Breathe in the glacial carved canvas of northern Michigan's finest golf courses
and have your breath taken away by scenic vistas from tee to green. The perfect place to perfect your game in more ways than one. The waves, woods, and wonder of Bel Air. Escape every day. Discover the magic of 90 holes at one resort. Shanty Creek Resort in Bel Air and online at shantycreek.com. It's time to book your holiday and winter getaway from TVC. This fall, fly nonstop to Boston with JetBlue and experience the vibrant colors of autumn in the Northeast. Choose from top carriers like American, Delta, and United, or enjoy ultra-low fares on Allegiant. TVCairport.com.
Votes are in for the Traverse City Record Eagles Simply the Best Reader's Choice Contest. It was our biggest year yet. Find out who was voted Traverse City's favorite businesses and professionals during our virtual awards ceremony at the Traverse City Record Eagles page on Facebook Wednesday, September 24th. And pick up our Simply the Best Winners publication in the September 24th edition of the Traverse City Record Eagle. Attend the virtual awards ceremony September 24th at facebook.com/TC Record Eagle.
It came out of the darkness. You didn't have time to react. Now you got front-end damage. What next? Easy. Choose Jim's. You find your car in the parking lot? Wait, where'd that scratch come from? Where do you go now? Well, that's easy too. Choose Jim's. You finally got your dream truck. Want to deck it out? Easy. Choose Jim's. Jim's Collision in Roscommon. From collision repair to awesome accessory, they make a bad day better. ChooseJims.com. That's ChooseJims.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Why would you wander around a warehouse store looking for paint when you could just swing by your neighborhood Ace? In addition to Ace's award-winning service, we have top-rated paint brands. Plus, our color matching technology allows us to match any color. So stop wandering and start painting. Head to your neighborhood Ace today.
Stop into McLean's Ace Hardware on South James Street in Grayling. Knowledgeable, friendly, and community-focused. McLean's Ace Hardware. Get in, get out, get on with your project.
Watch the TC West Titans streaming live at upnorthsportsradio.com.
Brought to you in part by Bay Bread Company in Traverse City. 40 types of the best fresh baked bread in northern Michigan. BayBreadCo.com.
TC West Titans on upnorthsportsradio.com.
Welcome back to Friday Faceoff here on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY, brought to us by TVCairport.com. Cherry Coyne, Rich Calkins in studio. And Rich, what did you think about the Bryce Underwood show?
Yeah. Finally, let him run the ball just a little bit.
Biff Poggi for
Biff.
president.
Love Biff.
Yeah.
And yeah. I mean, we've been expecting it basically from game one, and maybe they were just making sure that he would run the offense without just utilizing his legs. But you see what dual threat truly is. Bryce Underwood is.
Yeah,
I mean, the Chippewas. I think he just scored again.
I was surprised. I thought the Chips would stay in that game.
I did too. I thought they'd battle. You know, I mean, I thought, but no such luck.
No, not at all. And now you get a really interesting bellwether game versus Nebraska.
Yes, it is.
You know, you've got a heralded quarterback in Raiola there. It seems like Matt. What's his name?
Yeah, Matt. The head coach there. Yeah, coached at Carolina there for a while. Yeah.
Has them playing, got the program moving, Matt Rule, moving in the right direction.
The rule of law.
But Nebraska is 0-28 in their last 28 attempts to beat a ranked team, which doesn't bode well for Michigan. I haven't seen anything on the linebacker. What is it, Barnwell?
Yeah.
He got hurt in the game against CMU.
Right.
And didn't return, but I haven't heard anything about him. That kid is a game wrecker.
He's that guy that they move him around like a Micah Parsons type thing.
He looks like the college version of Micah Parsons.
Yep.
He threw that one offensive lineman out of the way and knocked him into the quarterback. I mean, that kid's a player. So.
That was such a strength move. It just looked ridiculous.
It did look ridiculous. So, if he can't play, I think Michigan's got problems.
Mm-hmm.
If he's healthy, I think Nebraska's got problems.
Right. Yeah, he's a difference maker.
But the other kid, Moore, is supposed to be back.
That's
Rod Moore, who is a preseason All-American a couple years ago.
Yeah, hasn't played.
Hasn't played in, I think he played 2 games last year.
Yeah. No,
as a defensive coordinator for Nebraska, you look at that game against CMU on tape and you go like, okay, what are we going to get?
Right.
Because on top of running the ball very effectively, he can throw it on the run very well.
Yeah, if you load the box up, you do it at your own peril.
Yep.
Because then he's gonna go over the top on you. That's what these dual threat quarterbacks are so tough to
if
defend.
Michigan can get that offensive line completely healthy and together, they're going to be dangerous.
Yeah, no. And
if they could power run the football on top of everything else that they've got,
the advantage Michigan has, they've already played one huge game on the road.
Yeah.
Against Oklahoma in a hostile environment, all of that. So they've already gone through those emotions of doing that. So this time they know what to expect. Yep. They're going in there. They, I think that gives them a huge advantage.
And it's a really big advantage that Poggi has been a head coach.
Yes.
It lets the offensive D coordinators do what they need to do, and he just seems to be a really cool guy.
The players seem to really respond to him, too. They really like him.
He's a billionaire.
Is he really?
Yeah, you didn't know
Oh,
this.
no, I had no idea. Well,
he created a long time ago, he created an investment fund.
Okay.
And he essentially bought his way into being the head coach at Charlotte.
Okay.
Now, he didn't do that great there.
Right.
But a lot of people liked the kind of thing that he put together, and he had a big relationship with Harbaugh, so he's been in and out of the program. But his person skills are top-notch.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Sharon Moore's person skills are top-notch.
Right. Yeah. I noticed just the difference, the way the players came up to Biff during the game and their interaction they had and how much love they gave Biff and all that. It was shocking to me, to be honest with you.
It's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I have a prediction. Michigan's like 2.5-point favorites, which is a little surprising to me, considering that they looked really good against Central. They didn't look good against Oklahoma.
No, they did not. That's what
And the Spartans are at USC. I'm surprised that they're only getting 17.5, to be honest with you. USC's offense is really clicking.
Yes.
And I don't think the Spartans' defense is that great.
It has not played well.
No.
Aiden Childs has played pretty well for them.
Mm-hmm.
He's another dual threat guy.
They're going to have to score some points.
But they're hurt right now. Marsh at the receiver, he's their best receiver, got hurt.
Their best defensive player is out, too.
Yeah. But, hey, it's a cool thing. Brady Pretzlaff, former linebacker from Gaylor's been getting a lot of reps as a redshirt freshman.
I heard Blaha mention him.
Yeah, so that's really cool. But he got hurt his shoulder late in that game, and I don't know where he stands now. But
I wanted to briefly mention Notre Dame.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it came out a little bit. I'm actually surprised it wasn't a bigger story. The Texas A&M game, some people are bitching that Notre Dame is 0-2 and they're ranked.
Yeah.
So they lost to a Miami team that could win the national championship, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no question about it. But that Notre Dame has lost 2 close, hard-fought ball games. And, one of them at home, their last one there, that's always tough. They totally kind of revamped that defensive line after that first week loss against Miami. They were not happy with the way that defensive line did not put pressure on there, and that was unfortunate for Josh Burnham from TC Central. He didn't get a whole lot of reps last week against A&M.
Well, 2 plays turned that game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the kid bobbles the snap on the extra point.
Oh, yes, that was
it's just the worst.
Something you just take for granted all the time, but is so important.
But the play that Texas A&M scored on, what is 4th and goal on the 12-yard line.
Right.
And 2 of Notre Dame's players blatantly tackled on the play. Have you seen the play?
I don't know. I did not see the replay of it. No.
It's unbelievable. At Notre Dame, nobody threw a flag. I know the refs don't, but, you don't want to throw a flag there.
Yeah.
Well, they still get to run the play again
Mhm.
when you tackle two guys
Sure.
on the last play of the game that ends up winning the football game. I a couple people really thought it was egregious. I thought it would be the story of the game, but because that's how Notre Dame lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't see a lot of people talking about it, to be honest with you.
It was pretty interesting stuff,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned.
Right. No, Notre Dame coming off a national championship appearance, and a lot of people thought that they were going to have a similar trajectory this year, even though let's be, two of their toughest games were played already. Yeah. The rest of that schedule, certainly they should be able to go on a run here now, but with two teams and how they are two losses, with the amount
they have to win. They can't.
They got to win out.
They got to win out.
Yeah, and do it with some style points, I believe too.
Well, USC could be there.
Yes, that is
James, hold on.
It certainly appears that way for sure. As with USC putting up points in Herculean amounts. But
it's time for the Sarah Kalkaska and Gaylord Automotive High School Sports. Spit it out, JC. High School Sports Game Show. Sarah, right now, at both locations are having a summer sell-down sale. Everything, whether new, pre-owned, or certified, is at their lowest prices of the year. So head over there in person to Sarah Ford in Kalkaska or Gaylord, or shop them online at sarahkalkaska.com or sarahgaylord.com. You'll see the savings. They guarantee it. James, what's happening? James, how you doing? Oh. James Cook, are you there, sir?
Yeah, how you doing?
All right, good. Thank you. It would help if I hit the right button.
Yeah. All right, James. You were at home in Traverse City last week as Davison came north, and I tell you, for at least the first half, if not three quarters, Traverse City Central played really well against that team.
Yeah, they were up 14-9 at halftime, and looking pretty good. The defense was doing a pretty good job of stopping Davison, even though Davison is just way bigger in the trenches than Traverse City Central. I mean, they had to move Sam Rice from defensive tackle to defensive end to put him on a guy that weighed 100 pounds more than him.
Yeah.
To put their biggest defensive lineman on their left tackle, who's going to Notre Dame. And he did a pretty decent job, for the first half of I think, battling pretty even with a guy that he was giving up 100 pounds to. And then the second half, he got hurt. Well, not hurt. He had bad cramps through the whole second half.
Yeah.
Had to come back into the game and kept cramping up again and again and again. So there was a bunch of that going on for both teams, but more so Central.
Well, they certainly didn't have the depth of the Davidson team, that's for sure.
Yeah, Davison, I think, only starts two guys two ways.
Oh,
so, they're
I don't think Graham Blank starts.
No.
Graham Blank probably doesn't start anybody both ways, period. Unless they got Jim Thorpe.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, talking to Coach Wagner yesterday in our pregame interview, there's 4 or 5 guys that are Division I athletes at Grand Blanc. You'd expect that, and heading down there tonight at that newly renovated $44 million football stadium sports complex they have there. We were when we went down there 2 years ago, we were one of the first teams to play on that brand new field. So it looks like a college down there. It's pretty awesome, that's for sure. But, hey, another game at Thurlby this week that's going to be a good one. Mount Pleasant, undefeated and scoring points like crazy, taking on Central.
Yeah, Central is going to have its hands full again. I mean, especially after Isaac Turnwald had concussion in the second half last week, so his status for this week is completely up in the air. So he's a big weapon for Traverse City Central, and then Mount Pleasant has a very good offense of its own. If you look at the Ski Valley or the Saginaw Valley League standings and stats, Traverse City Central actually leads the Blue Division in offense, but Mount Pleasant is not too far behind and incredibly balanced. 550 rushing yards, 523 passing. You can't get a whole lot closer to that. Grand Blanc is actually in a similar boat. They're 512 rushing, 494 passing. So both offenses able to do both things, and you can't really key on one thing too much. So that makes things a little bit difficult. It's going to be a challenge for the Traverse City teams this week.
Yeah, no question about it. There's some great games all around the north. Our big matchup there is 2-1 Kingsley at 3-0 Boyne City. That one's going to be a great one.
That one I hope is a great one. That's where I'm headed.
Okay.
I get to go outside of Traverse City for the first time in football season.
Nice.
Tonight, I got somebody else covering the Traverse City Central game for me, so I'm going to be heading up to Boyne City for that one. That should be a really good game. I mean, the last few times these two teams have played has just been great games. They split last year. Kingsley won during the regular season. Boyne won in the playoffs. Both one-score games. So it's just been a pretty good rivalry the last few years.
Yeah, no question about it. Well, I'm glad you're getting out of Dodge a little bit there, James, to head up to Boyne and watch that one. Like you said, just incredible games in the past, and I totally expect the same thing again this year. Kind of an underrated game that should get a lot of attention as well. Undefeated Beale City at McBain at 2-1.
Yeah, that's another really good game too. I mean, this is kind of, I think, for the Highland Conference Championship, or
Sure.
at least the team that wins this one has got the definite edge towards winning the Highland Conference.
No doubt.
And they're both ranked in the top 10 in their division. McBain's 8 in Division 7, Beale City's 3 in Division 8. Some kind of surprised, as good as Beale City is, that they've really dominated the series, 38-16 over the years.
Right.
McBain's a little bit bigger school than them, and McBain
Right.
has been a pretty darn good and consistently good football team as well. McBain has won 5 of the last 8, though. So there's that. So they have gotten a little bit of the better end of the stick in the last decade or so.
Yeah, that is good news. Another matchup around the north, 2-1 teams matching up. Mansalona at Frankfort.
Yeah, that should be a decent game too. Mansalona has been a team that's kind of surprised some people, and Frankfort is one of those teams that's always up there, it seems like. So that should be one of those really good games, I think. In the Northern Michigan Football Conference in that division, that'll go towards who can stay right in there and be in there with Glen Lake.
Yeah, yeah. Another matchup of 2-1 teams is East Jordan at Glen Lake.
Yeah, and this is another good one too. I mean, I don't know that a whole lot of people expected Kalkaska to beat East Jordan last week.
Yeah, I know it.
Going to be 3-0.
3-0 Kalkaska. How about that?
Yeah, first time this decade. I think the last time they started 3-0 was 2017 or something. So good start by the Blazers there. They've won games in overtime. They've won close games. They've been doing what they need to do to claw to 3-0. And then East Jordan. Last year Glen Lake won that game 7-6.
Yeah.
So just an extra point was the only difference in that game.
Wow.
Glen Lake's going to be pretty hungry in this one because they have an open week in their schedule next week.
Oh.
So they're not going to get to play for 2 weeks. So they're going to want to come out firing in this game.
Yeah, for sure. You were talking about 3-0 teams. I just wanted to mention what Inland Lakes has done so far. They have yet to be scored upon. They've won their games 50-0, 53-0, and 50-0. So in 8-man football, look into that matchup down at the end of the regular season where Gaylord St. Mary's and Inland Lakes play. That's going to be a great one.
Yeah, that should be a good one. Inland Lakes, their offense has just been pretty prolific in recent years. I mean, they've scored 50 or more points in 7 straight regular season games. Yeah. So they've just been piling things up, Holton is a team that really struggled the last few years in 11-player football, and last year I don't know that they even finished the whole season. They went to playing 8-player football this season. They've started off 0-3, but they've played 3 pretty good opponents as well. So I don't know that you can kind of completely judge them on their record alone. So they have gone down, and when they went to 8-player football, they scheduled some pretty good opponents. So,
right.
And Inland Lakes is another one of those. So, but they haven't won that program hasn't won a game since October of 2021.
Oh
so
man,
they're pretty hungry.
Yes, I would say. And a great rivalry in the Big North Conference. 1-2 Petoskey travels over to Gaylord to take on the 3-0 Gaylord Blue Devils.
They won. They beat Marquette.
Yes, in overtime.
Wow, he's got it going on.
He does.
Yeah.
And we're going to have him on the scoreboard show tomorrow morning.
Good for them. I was, in the Petoskey Gaylord rivalry is a real thing. It's Gaylord's rivalry. I don't know if it's Petoskey's, but it's certainly Gaylord's.
It is. It's funny on MHSAA, that matchup, and in parentheses underneath the matchup says 2 buses needed. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And Gaylord won that game last week on a goal line stand. Marquette scored and decided to go for 2,
right,
to go for the win on the road in Gaylord. And one of Gaylord's cornerbacks came up and stopped the quarterback on
an RPO,
on a quarterback keeper.
Wow.
And won the game for him. So
wow,
pretty nice win for the Blue Devils.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And, after all the upheaval of their coach getting removed, I thought that the program was going to get into a spiral. So kudos to the players for rallying around their new coach.
Yeah, no question.
For sure. And it was Hayden Groves who was the kid who made the tackle for
Hayden
Gaylord
Groves.
Hey guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to the folks from Sarah Ford in Gaylord and Kalkaska. It's an all inventory sale right now, going on from now until the end of the month. You'll see every vehicle clearly marked down to the lowest prices of the year. It doesn't matter if it's Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, pre-owned or certified. If you want to stop by at either location in Kalkaska or Gaylord, you can do so, or you can go to sarahgaylord.com or sarahkalkaska.com and find the lowest prices of the year. They guarantee it.
Yep. Okay. A homecoming matchup: Gaylord St. Mary's. They take on 0-3 Bel Air. At least on paper, looks like St. Mary's, should continue their winning ways.
Yeah, you'd kind of think so. The story I had earlier this week is the story on the new football conference coming next year with the Ski Valley Conference merging with a bunch of UP teams for next year to form a 2-tiered 14-team league.
Okay.
Called the Bridge Alliance Football Conference. So there's going to be 7 teams from above the bridge and 7 teams from below the bridge playing in this league, and it'll be 2 tiers. And every 2 years they're going to readjust. Look at the competitiveness of each team and enrollments and all that kind of stuff, and move teams back and forth between the 2 divisions. But it looks like a pretty good move for all these schools. I think it puts some of the smaller schools that haven't had as much success in recent years in kind of the same division. So, and then they have crossover games where the similar levels will play each other.
Good.
And everything, and then every team gets a week 1 as their non-conference game, so they can play their rival or go downstate, play somebody, play
more
whoever they
business
want.
for Clyde's.
Yes, it is. So you got your Pickfords in there. You got your similar schools like that, right, James?
Yeah, Pickford's in there, Newberry, Engadine,
okay,
Brimley, Rudyard,
right,
Cedarville.
Sure.
So a bunch of those UP teams, and then the entirety of the Ski Valley Conference.
As a quick aside, yesterday in the JC Friday Free For All question, yesterday was National Cheeseburger Day.
Yes.
Right. So I asked the question where's the best cheeseburger, and 4 people said Clyde's.
Clyde's. Yeah. See. It's not just coming from me. People know it's out
just
there.
Came out of and also a very interesting factoid, guys. I don't know if you saw this pop up, but Derrick Henry is on the cusp. Now this is his 10th year in the NFL, right?
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, he's right now ran for 11,615 yards. So he has the opportunity to break his high school record. In high school, he ran for 12,124 yards and 153 touchdowns.
Oh, my gosh. And you can only do that in 4 years.
In the NFL, in 10 years, 11,615 yards and 108 rushing touchdowns. He's got 5 receiving.
Could you imagine being a high schooler trying to tackle him coming out of the backfield? You know, a 150-pound DB or something going up against him and just
1,200
yards in high school.
I mean, what did he get in his freshman year?
Yeah. So he's been a man-child.
There you go, James. I don't know if you ever followed a player in high school quite that good.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. So, James, any other matchups that you got your eye on?
One interesting one I think is Bear Lake at Marion. They're a Saturday night game. Marion's 1-2, but they're coming off a pretty impressive win where they put up 62 points last week. Bear Lake beat Baldwin 49-0. They've actually got the longest active winning streak in the area because they won 6 games last year but didn't make the playoffs, so they didn't lose at the end of the year like almost everybody else who was good. So they've won 7 straight games going back to October of last year, and they're looking for their first win against Marion ever. They've played them 7 times previously and have never won. Marion won 46-7 last year. So Bear Lake looking to exact some revenge.
Yeah.
Sam
Mullet. Yep. Yeah, Samantha Mullet doing a nice job at Bear. Also, I wanted to mention the Grayling Traverse City St. Francis
I was just
game
get to
on Saturday.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're going to be there, James, but the Vikings travel to Traverse City and Thurlby Field to play St. Francis. Has Grayling ever beat St. Francis?
One time. Oh, in
Traverse City?
No, not in Traverse City. Nope.
Not in Traverse City. Yeah, they won in 2012, and that was at Grayling.
McCord and I were on the call on that one.
Yeah.
That was it.
No. I didn't think that they've ever won in Traverse City.
We won an MAB award on that call because it was the first time ever. So
a little enthusiasm coming
a little,
out of
yes.
the microphones there.
And then,
go ahead.
In the 12 games since that loss, St. Francis has averaged almost 44 points a game against Grayling, so they weren't happy with that one.
Yeah.
But to Grayling's credit, they were not one of the teams that wanted to push St. Francis out of the conference.
They were not. They voted. They wanted to keep them in. Yeah.
So
they've always been kind of one of those, even back in the day when they pushed them out in football, and then when the Northern Shores Conference came around, Grayling has kind of been one of those teams where they're like, we want to play St. Francis. You got to beat good teams to be good.
100% from Coach Sanchez, all the coaches that we've had the pleasure of having a relationship with. They go, they're the standard.
Yeah,
we've got we want to play to that standard.
Right, gives us something to shoot for. That's
exactly. When you've beaten St. Francis, you've done something.
Yeah, exactly. You have reason to celebrate for sure.
We'll have somebody at that game tomorrow, but I'm going to be going to Elk Rapids for soccer. They're playing Grand Rapids West Catholic, so that's 2 teams that are ranked in the top 10 in Division III.
Okay.
Playing each other in a regular season game, so that's a pretty good one.
Yep, you got to cover it all, James. You're a one-man band.
Kinda, yeah.
We'll give you the cymbals that you can strap to your kneecaps and clang those while you're rooting on.
Hey, James, if you could give me a halftime score of that Kingsley Boyne game while I'll be down at Grand Lake, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah. Or if I don't, shoot me a text or something.
I will.
Say,
yep.
What's the score?
I'll remind you. Yep.
All right, James Cook. By the way, what are your thoughts on Lions Ravens?
That's a really, really tough matchup. But I mean, if Lions have to be looking at last week and figuring out what Cleveland did to take out Derrick Henry. I mean, he had 11 carries for 23 yards.
Well,
against Cleveland, and I'm like, the Lions have
Myles
everything
Garrett,
in Cleveland except for Myles Garrett. But I mean, you got Aiden Hutchinson, who's So if there's a blueprint maybe that the Cleveland Browns have given the NFL on how to stop Derrick Henry, that would bode well.
Tyreek Williams coming out party. That's the only thing I can say.
Would love it, yeah.
The only way the Lions are going to win this game is in a shootout, if you ask me. They have zero chance of stopping Lamar Jackson or Derrick Henry. They can only hope to slow them down and keep it close. The only way you beat the Ravens is you keep it close.
Yeah.
If this game is out of hand,
don't let them get up 2 or 3 scores because it's
If they win this game, I see it being like a 42-35 game or a 35-28 game.
100%.
It's not going to be a defensive battle.
No, for sure. I would be shocked. All right, James, thanks so much, and safe travels, and we'll be with you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks, James. A wealth of information is James.
A wealth of information. Yeah, Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
you hold him under 100 yards.
Well, and that actually concerns me a little bit because he got held down with so little last week. Is he ready to explode?
The Lions, obviously the Bears are not the Ravens, but they were pretty good against the run. They've been pretty good against the run. They stopped the run against the Packers.
Right.
So and Aaron Jones, obviously not Derrick Henry.
No.
But Love can run it a little bit, so maybe the rush defense is in good shape. Aline McNeil not coming back. Well, Williams has been good. On top of everything else, a couple of knockdown passes.
I love that. Can't get to the quarterback, get your arms up. You're taught that, and he's been doing. I like the rookie. Yep. And good news on the Aline McNeil front. He's a little bit ahead of schedule in his rehab. He said he's 93-94%. Close to returning, so maybe 3-4 weeks
after the bye.
So it would be great.
Yeah. All right, thanks so much to the folks at Sarah Ford and Gaylord in Kalkaska. The summer send-off sale is on right now. Every vehicle, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, pre-owned and certified, is marked down to their lowest prices of the year. Visit them in person in Kalkaska or Gaylord or at sarahkalkaska.com or sarahgaylord.com. We will switch you back to the Infinity Sports Network. Rich and I will be in here tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock to wrap up all the scores.
Jaguars kicker Cam Little, hit a 70-yard field goal. So kickers are hitting the ball at a ridiculous clip. Buy or sell. The NFL should move the goalposts 5 yards back to make it more difficult for kickers.
Buy.
100%.
I actually had an idea the other day. I was thinking the exact same thing, and I want you to. I'm workshopping. So if you need to sell it, it's fine. We're doing this in the best interest of the sport of football. Okay? All right. This isn't an Infinity Sports Draft. We're gonna take this seriously. All right? Buy or sell, you would be open to them changing the ball just for field goals to make the ball more difficult, heavier somehow, something to get us back to where a 40-yarder was an impressive field goal.
Buy.
Yeah, something. Because you can't move the goalpost back that far. There's people there. But you could do something. You could do something with the ball. You like that?
We got to knock down all 32 stadiums, redesign, especially Miami. That thing is tight. You can't move that thing back 1 yard.
No, you can't. It's a problem. It's a real problem.
I did not know this, and I think it's a new rule change, but just learn about now. Up until this year, that kickers didn't use, the balls they used in games were given to them the day of the game.
Right.
Up until this year, where now they can basically practice the ball and bring them, which is, I think, in part why they're so long. To your point,
100%.
Almost bring that back to where... you're not going to – it's like a golf course, right, in the sense of guys are hitting the ball longer than ever, so you can only make it so long. The legs are so strong, only going to get stronger. They're going to have the range. But to make it more difficult, maybe it's just you can't break the ball in.
Can I add something to it that I think that I want to get deep in the weeds here? If you are a field goal kicker in the National Football League, you're a millionaire. You have an amazing life. You're not making $50,000 a year, right? And that's a good life in America. But and I think we underestimate sometimes the crazy amount of wealth that is poured into sports and how parents all over America, and I think in unhealthy ways, because it happens in my community, are training their kids with these niche things. Now, most of them aren't going to make it, but some of them are. And so you're going to have field goal kickers who have been training since they were 7 years old to do this that you did not have in 1995, where a guy drank some beer and kicked the ball through a upright for fun high school and they're like, I guess you could do it. That was a good dare. Everything is so specialized and there's so much money in it that you're right. To everything you said, there's going to be better talent drawn to these things with better technique and more ability. Put those damn balls in the freezer or something, make them cold, I don't know, whatever it is. I'm not a scientist. Buy or sell, I'm a scientist.
Buy.
No, I'm a sell, I'm not a scientist.
You sound smart to me. I'll take your advice. Freeze those balls.
The Fahrenheit Celsius factor.
It'd be fun if we have the other team control the kicking balls. So, like, if the Bears are playing the Browns, the Browns control the Bears' kicking balls. You can do whatever you want with them. You can
cover them in mud.
Cover them in mud. Put them in the freezer. Deflate them completely so it's just like a flat. You want to make feel cool kicking
Coat them in chocolate and put flesh-eating ants on them.
What the hell are we gonna work with this week? Let's find out. Just get nuts. You're right. That'd be great. Like, you kick the ball and you have a million ants on you that are gonna bite your skin off in the first quarter. Make sure we consider. Do you want to go for a fourth down? Maybe.
I like it. We've really not jumped the shark on this.
No.
We actually solved the problem.
Let's go to the AFC West, Bill. Good
question
battle.
number 2.
Yeah, question number 2. We're gonna get back on track.
Andrew.
Maybe. As the Broncos.
Shouldn't you just know context? You're bad. By the way, I meant to bring this up off the air. You're bad at no context by yourself. You don't know when to do it. You're all over the place.
And I think that makes it better. No,
you do. No, I don't know. Sell. But I like it. But I like your heart's at and your head's at.
Trying to keep you on your toes. All right, geography-wise, I know it's been challenging the last few weeks. The Broncos are heading west to LA to take on the Chargers. LA's gotten off to a strong start so far. They're 2-0 in the year. They could take a commanding lead in this division, Bill, if they do beat Denver, as the first 3 games of the year for LA happen against divisional opponents, Chiefs, Raiders, and now the Broncos. Buy or sell? The Chiefs will win the Chargers. The Chargers will win the AFC West.
That was on my toes.
Holy cow. The Chargers win the AFC West if they win on Sunday.
This is no context on accident.
You have no idea what you're answering.
I don't even know what we're talking about. What was your question?
Chargers win the division if they win on Sunday.
Sell. How would they win the division?
Because they're 3-0 in the division.
It's week 3.
That's a big-time tiebreaker going forward. Chiefs are 0-2.
They're the Chargers, man. I mean, and I know it's hardball, so maybe buy or sell, you'd be that shocked if the Chargers were in line to win the division and then Justin Herbert threw 7 interceptions in 3 games.
I mean,
sell.
That's the thing. I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah. Is Jim Harbaugh a magic worker? Is it called a magician? What's a magic worker? Now I've gone off the rails. Is he a magician? Yes, but he still has to have magic in order for Herbert to be okay. Buy or sell magic worker should be introduced into the lexicon of American speech.
Buy.
Yeah, it should.
Absolutely. I mean, that feels
Magic
so much more
worker.
professional.
It does.
Why hire a magician? You can hire a magic worker.
Right. If you're listening in Vegas and you're trying to be a magician, just change it to magic worker and you just beat all of your competition.
And also raise your prices because you're getting extra right there.
Raise them big time.
So sticking in the AFC West, speaking of the Chiefs who we just were talking about, they and the Texans both 0-2 on the road in Week 3 looking for their first win of the season. Houston faces AFC South foe Jacksonville. How about this? The Jaguars are slight home favorites in that game while the Chiefs travel to New Jersey to take on the Giants. KC on the road, nearly a touchdown favorite against New York. Buy or sell? If either the Texans or Chiefs fall to 0-3,
the Eagles win the Super Bowl?
They will miss the Rams on the Super Bowl, but they will miss the playoffs.
Oh, that's a good one. Buy. Yeah.
Buy.
Yes. That's a great question. I think the Texans are already in some serious jeopardy, obviously, but also just the vibe of C.J. Stroud. And I meant to play this for everybody the other day. We just didn't have time. He doesn't sound like a guy who has a lot of belief and is particularly confident and happy with what's going on there. And if Kansas City goes to 0-3 because they lose to the Giants, they're just not a very good football team.
That is true. That is very true. Speaking of not a good football... Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Please.
No. Buy or sell, you're taking the Chiefs as your Rider Than You Survivor pool builder.
I'm going to...
Sell.
I feel I'm about 85% locked in here. I'm going to take the Packers. They're playing the Browns on the road in Cleveland. I'm a little nervous. Good defense.
Why not Kansas City?
I'm a little nervous at that right now. That team is just a little bit discombobulated.
Okay.
Injuries are a factor. The Giants have a good defensive line. The Chiefs' offensive line's banged up.
You don't think it's going to be okay? Let's see. Okay.
Sell.
Wow. Can we pretend someone else got it on the mic?
That was a third person.
That was bad.
Someone just hacked our line.
Shut up, Stu.
Freaking Stu.
Stu.
Hacking our show. So you mentioned the word bad before. That could be used for Nebraska football when they play against ranked opponents for a long time. I almost called you Stu. Oh, my God.
This segment's really going great.
This really has. How about this?
Yeah.
Nebraska has not beaten a ranked opponent since the Obama administration. They have lost 28 straight games against ranked opponent. Their last win coming back in September of 2016 against Oregon. This weekend, they host number 21 Michigan, who head into Lincoln as 2.5-point favorites. As a reminder, Sherrone Moore will not be coaching this game for Michigan, serving the second game of a 2-game suspension. Buy or sell, Nebraska will upset Michigan.
Oh, man. I mean, I don't believe it, but let's lean into buy. Let's lean into positivity. That is a stunning. I did not know that.
Same. Until I was doing some research on this, I was like, holy.
It's been almost a decade.
Games.
If they don't beat a ranked opponent this season, it'll be a decade.
So it's just a ranked win. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Buy or sell, Nebraska is the most damaged once great football program in America. It's a tough one.
Buy.
Miami's there, but at least geographically, they're in a good spot where they should still get a lot of talent.
100%.
They're in a tough part of the region, and tough to get talent there, in a tough conference.
Yep.
It's an uphill climb, but it could start this weekend. Get some momentum back.
Buy or sell, you think they're going to win that game?
I do.
Buy.
True freshman quarterback, no head. Like, if you can't beat Michigan with a true freshman on the road and no head coach, come on, what are you doing?
It's a coin flip, though.
And I agree. I don't feel like it's a lock at all. I'm nervous about, Nebraska coming through, but this got to be one of those, like, if you're a real program, if you're truly going to be back, you got to win this game. That's the first step. How about this, Bill? Speaking of some ranked opponents, Week 4 in college football features 3 ranked, unranked matchups. As in the Big 12, Utah, number 16 in the country, hosts number 17 Texas Tech, while number 22 Auburn travels to Norman to face number 11 Oklahoma. In the Big 10 at night, number 9 Illinois is at number 19 Indiana. Now, all 3 home teams, Utah, Oklahoma, Indiana, all favored by 7.5 points or less. Close spreads. Buy or sell? We will see at least one of these road teams pull off an upset.
I like Utah to win that game. I could see Auburn beating Oklahoma, couldn't you?
I could.
I'll buy. Illinois can win. Auburn can win. Well, that's not accurate. Illinois can win. Oklahoma can lose. Is more what I want to say.
That is very fair. And let's finish with this, Bill. The Post and Courier reported yesterday that Arizona State and Kansas will play a neutral site game next season at London's Wembley Stadium. Now, this comes on the heels as Michigan announced recently they will play Western Michigan in Germany in 2026, and a yearly game will be played in Ireland through at least 2037. Buy or sell? College football playing international games is a horrible idea.
Buy. And I like it professionally. The campus experience is the best experience that there is. And there's some rare exceptions. I do think that the Arrowhead games between KU and Missouri were really, really cool. There obviously are examples. Oklahoma, Texas. But no. Generally speaking, keep games on campus. Campuses are magical experiences, and football games bring that out in a way unlike any other experience there. Is that it?
That is it.
All right. We have some tension on the show today because one of you nominated Ryan for Bum of the Week and another one said free Ryan. We will find out whether Ryan makes the nomination list. I have a feeling about it. And find out who Bum of the Week is after a Sports Flash from Andrew Bogish.
Infinity Sports Network Sports Flash.
Bill, your Sports Flash sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Your small business keeps you on the go. Progressive Commercial Insurance keeps your policy within reach with our easy-to-use mobile app. Learn more at progressivecommercial.com. The Dolphins are 0-3 after Thursday Night Football in Buffalo, but maybe the 31-21 final close enough to save Mike McDaniel's job. His players did make the Bills work for that W.
You have to be able to go through tough times and not splinter. And so the team has shown me that, and we'll need that to get the results that we want.
Tua threw away their chance to tie the game with a pick with 3 minutes left. The Bills have now won 14 of the last 15 meetings between these two. Jaden Daniels not on the field at the start of Commanders practice this morning. He has yet to practice this week because of his sprained knee. Miami Heat All-Star Tyler Hero is having left foot surgery today, will miss the start of the coming season. And the Las Vegas Aces reaching the WNBA semifinals for the 7th year in a row, taking their third and final game with Seattle, 74-73, behind 38 points from Asia Wilson. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Hey, it's Perloff from the Maggie and Perloff Show. Get all your sports talk here on the Infinity Sports Network. Always available on the free Odyssey app.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
What if the dollar was no longer the world's reserve currency? According to former IMF chief economist Kenneth Rogoff, that future is coming faster than you think. His new book, Our Dollar, Your Problem, reveals how rising debt, inflation, and global de-dollarization could lead to a full-blown currency crisis, one that could wipe out retirement accounts tied to the stock market or the dollar. That's why Advantage Gold is giving away free copies of this urgent book when you schedule your one-on-one precious metals appointment. You'll learn how to legally move your IRA or 401k into physical gold and silver, avoid taxes and penalties using a little-known IRS-approved strategy, and how to receive up to $10,000 in free gold and silver when you qualify. Protect your retirement before it's too late. Call 800-324-9902 now. That's 800-324-9902. Or visit AdvantageGold.com to claim your free copy. There's no cost, just the truth. No precious metals purchase necessary. Call 800-324-9902 now. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Happy Friday! It's .9 meteorologist Haley Fischetti, and here's a look at today's forecast. Expecting to see more of that sunshine across the region today, as a lot of us are expecting the warmer temperatures once again in the upper 60s to upper 70s with dry skies throughout the day. Expecting some rain chances to develop heading into the overnight hours with mostly cloudy skies and temperatures staying in the 50s. For your Saturday, things are staying on the drier side to start, where isolated showers will start to move in, however, leaving for some rumbles of thunder and temperatures feeling a bit cooler in the 60s and 70s. While the details over on 9 and 10 News.
Find the lowest prices on fall golf deals that rock only at QDealsMI.com. Get a round of golf with a cart at El Dorado Golf Club in Cadillac for just $36. That's $2 a hole. Or get a round of golf with a cart at Sugar Springs in Gladwin for just $25. Or treat your whole foursome for just $75 and save even more. Head to QDealsMI.com for the guaranteed lowest prices for fall golf. Quantities are limited. When they're sold out, they're gone. Only from QDealsMI.com.
This September, cash is falling at Odawa Casino Petoskey. It's the 39K Lucky Leaves Cash Bash. Over $39,000 in winnings. Earn entries with your Pure Rewards card all month long with double entries on Tuesdays. Then on September 27th from 4 to 8 p.m., we're drawing winners for up to $1,000 cash. Plus, the first 3 Saturdays in September, our hot seat drawings are worth up to $2,500 cash. Don't miss your shot to catch some cash only at Odawa Casino.
The next chapter of Michigan football is here.
And he's in the clear! Going the other direction! No doubt about it! Outside the numbers to the 10 to the 5! Touchdown, Wolverines!
Michigan heads to Lincoln on Saturday for the Big Ten opener against Nebraska. Kickoff is at 3:30 on your home for Wolverines football.
The U of M Wolverines play this week on 100.3 WQON. The U of M Wolverines, Q100 Michigan.
They're the best pathfinders of all.
So at Child Fund, hope means helping millions of children living in poverty worldwide to grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and so all those good things can come true for them. Safe.
And that means safe at home, safe at school, and safe online.
Hope means walking this path together. All of us. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
That's right. Hope includes you.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
To learn how Child Fund works with children in 23 countries to help them achieve their full potential, visit childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
All right, welcome back into the show. It's Righter Than You here on the program. Thank you for listening. Happy Friday. Let's go. This NASCAR race preview is sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck and Van Equipment. They're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. The first leg of the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs is in the books. 12 racers remain. Danny Hamlin is currently the favorite to win the championship as the first leg of the second round starts at the Magic Mile in New Hampshire on Sunday afternoon. How would you say, what state is Chicago in, Ryan?
Illinois.
Yeah. Bella B wanted us to say Illinois. Why? Some people say Illinois. I don't understand.
That can't be a thing.
I don't know. We're not in the segment, but I'm going to address it. Kevin Fullatar writes, out of both of us, buy or sell Hickey picture gives off 90s villain vibes. Buy. You do have kind of a 90s.
Wait, what picture?
I guess on X or somewhere. I don't know. You just, I'm looking at you on Skype, so that's how I'm
90s villain vibes?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
I wish I looked. That means I would look intimidating. I wish that was the case. Wish
you
more
got an
people were scared
intimidating face. Intimidating face.
Okay, I got to use it then. Scare some people off.
It's a real thing. A lot of talk about you lately. A lot of talk about where you sort of belong in various ways, including whether or not, we're going to find out, you should be considered, Ryan, for Bum of the Week.
Hallelujah, I'm a bum. All he's doing is a whole lot of damn nothing. I'm a bum. You rotten bum! I'm a bum. They're a bunch of bums. I'm a bum. I'm a bum. I'm a bum.
Who's the bum this week? Let's find out on Righter Than You.
Well, I'm going to start with Ducky. Ducky Hines tweets at Sports Writer, Sports R-E-I-T-E-R, that Dabo, he says, is still his Bum of the Week for being a self-righteous frontrunner. That is very well explained. Let's just get to you real quick. Let's just get to it. So basically, Curtis nominated you for doing such a good job, I guess, that your ego's out of control because you haven't been doing a great job. Great guest, Tim Tebow. We have a great guest coming next week. Devin McCourty, Seth Macho, crushing it. And the music, he liked your music. And then somebody else, Ducky, weighed in and said, free Ryan. But you're the Bum of the Week, bro. Just kidding. You're not even nominated. You're not even nominated.
First
I
time
think you've done a great job.
6 weeks.
But you haven't won in a while.
You're saying that as a negative. It's a positive.
A positive. Yeah, I haven't won in a while. What's nominated?
Well, I like to just be off the chopping block for a week.
Brian Kelly is absolutely a front runner, and we didn't play this. Hit this a lot, but he yelling at a reporter for a pretty innocuous question, who then he later apologized to. Here's the thing: he says he did. You think that was real heartfelt? He was, hey, reporter guy, I'm so sorry, bro. Let's get a beer. Or is it, I want to apologize through a statement that I'll send you by email in a week? I don't know.
That was written by my PR publicist. And I did not co-sign.
You don't like soccer though. Could that renominate you for? No, it can't. Is it unfair for me to nominate J.J. McCarthy for playing like absolute garbage?
Very fair. This is the segment. You're a bum. You're a bum, Stedman.
I was going to nominate someone from the network, but I can't remember his name. Who else would you like to nominate here for Bum of the Week?
Can I nominate an organization?
Yeah.
The Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Squandering Joe Burrow, turf toe, maybe, possibly season being done. Come on.
Can I nominate Tua for the interception, or is that too harsh?
No.
I think it's not.
Bad pick.
Season's on the line. Bad pick.
Bad can't happen.
He telegraphed the hell out of that. Which, by the way, again, Amazon's production of that game and the clip they showed, and they do a very nice job. Just looking through what we've talked about. I'm trying to think if there's anybody that I've forgotten. You know what? I'm going to nominate Travis Kelce.
Fair.
I think, right?
He's been bad, and that drop in the end zone literally changed the entirety of the game, and maybe the season.
I think he's a better candidate than Tua. That was a worse mistake.
And expectations for him are higher.
Absolutely. 100%. This one's easy, right? Do you want to? Oh, I got to cross your name off. I got you on the nomination list, but you're not nominated. We went the other direction.
I like how every week it's just written in pen, like it's assumed he's going to be there.
All right, look, for acting like in sports, the championships you won years ago mean you've already won a championship now. For talking down to people who don't celebrate your greatness, for losing your grip on the game and replacing it with arrogance rather than evolution, for, as Ducky Hines put it, being a self-righteous frontrunner. Dabo, my guy, you're the bum of the week, bro.
That's your Bum of the Week.
I detest you!
On Lighter Than You.
I think that's the right call. I almost nominated Arch, but I actually felt bad.
How about Brian Kelly getting off the hook? Because that explosion that was almost equally as delusional.
It was ridiculous.
But Dabo is just, fire me. If you're tired of winning, I'll go. I'll go somewhere else.
You're tired of the national championship I won yesterday and tomorrow. What are you even talking? The words you're saying don't even make sense. And I like Dabo to a large degree. My interactions with the guy and what he's accomplished is amazing. You know firsthand. Did you overlap with Joe Pa at Penn State at all?
No. Literally, he got fired my senior year of high school.
I covered that Sandusky story. If you go and you look at the photos, remember where Joe Pa I think, to his, I think disgrace is the right word. Remember he went on the front lawn and was like leading that march? I'm in all those photos. I'm standing next to it with my notebook. It depends on the angle of the photographer.
Crazy if I was there. And, like, we overlapped in the same city at the same time.
And I was writing down, what is he doing? And you were like, you loser, medial murderer, because people were crazy at that thing. But even that awfulness aside, Joe Pa had largely lost the plot as a football coach already. Steve Spurrier lost the plot as a football coach long before he was gone. Mac Brown is a name that comes to mind. Remember when that guy was utterly and totally celebrated?
I mean, we're looking at Bill Belichick maybe going down that same path right now, too, possibly.
Yeah. I mean, Bill Belichick at least is trying to do it at UNC. It's a little different than, Texas, you should win. You should win. So, and I'm thinking of people who were good and then gave up the ghost a little bit. If that's where we are with Dabo, and we might be, it isn't unprecedented. My point is, it's not insanity or hate or delusion or stupidity. You didn't play the game to say, wow, maybe the game's passed Dabo by, because it's passed by coaches at a similar higher level. It just has. over the course of time. And the really smart ones sometimes know when to leave. Pete Carroll got out. There were some other reasons, but Pete Carroll got out when the getting out was necessary, but also good. And Dabo has forecast. He's foretold his own mistakes. Doesn't do the transfer portal. You said this to me, and credit to Ryan Hickey, who's you're doing a great job on the show, and I'm really appreciative of you hosting. You are hosting tomorrow, noon to 6, on the Infinity Sports Network. No, you're not. You're on a wedding, but normally you would be.
That is correct.
Maybe, can I go back and make me bum of the week? I just butchered all of that. But you sent me a story that I referenced this week when we talked about Dabo from ESPN as a preview to the season that really celebrated all the things that are now catching up to Clemson. This was a very laudatory, sycophantic's a little strong. It was a very, very, very positive article that's not holding up well that ESPN did on Dabo. It's worth reading because it's actually an accidental telling yourself kind of piece for that Clemson program. It is not a guarantee that things are going to go well. It is not a guarantee that past success guarantees future success. It is not a guarantee that your greatness lives on, especially in college football where everybody's coming for you and everybody's trying to make their own way and has their own ambitions. Man, if Clemson loses a couple, what if things really get bad? If the wheels really come off.
Imagine they lose to UNC in like 2 weeks. They won't, but
that's
imagine
not
they
possible.
do. I would agree, but imagine.
I mean, based on who they just lost to, they could probably lose to anybody.
Imagine that 180 that would be done on Bill Belichick. Now maybe genius figuring it out, and just the total demise of Dabo if we see North Carolina upset Clemson.
Who does Clemson have now? Syracuse?
Syracuse this week, I believe, yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's a 9 a.m. game my time. All right. Thank you to Ryan Harris. Thank you to Andrew Bogish. Thank you to Ryan Hickey. Thank you to Dabo for providing content. I'm Bill Ryder. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you. Have a great weekend. See you back Monday on Ryder Than You.
The IRS, the world's most aggressive collection agency. They can seize your property, bank account, and garnish your wages. They cause sleepless nights for millions of Americans. Don't be one of them. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, get protected today. Call 800-242-3186. Coast One Tax Group, protecting your bank, home, and your sleep since 2008. With hundreds of 5-star reviews and an A+ on the Better Business Bureau. Call Coast One Tax Group, 800-242-3186. Stanley from New York owed $93,000. The IRS placed a levy on his bank account. Coast One released the levy and settled with the IRS for $2,000. Mark in Michigan owed $225,000. After Coast One stepped in, Mark walked away paying less than $1,500. Call Coast One now. A 10-minute call can save you up to 93% on your back taxes. Get your fresh start today. That's 800-242-3186.
Sponsored by Coast One Financial Group. Jay's Sporting Goods is turning 54, and you're invited to the anniversary celebration September 19th through the 21st, with huge savings in every department, brand reps on site, and awesome giveaways at both stores. Plus, Latitude Outdoors will be there with a try-before-you-buy experience for their top-of-the-line hunting saddles. And only in Clare, don't miss the jaw-dropping Michigan Monsters display presented by Michigan Buckpole. It's all happening September 19th through the 21st at Jay's Sporting Goods in Clare and Gaylord. Trust the tradition.
Gear up like a boss at Blue Collar Clothing. They have the brands for folks who believe that working hard is a way of life. Like the company owner who still clocks in at the mill every day. Blue Collar Clothing on Morenci Avenue in Mile carries their own durable clothing brand, plus Carhartt, Red Wing, and other hard-working American-made clothing and footwear. Or shop for everything online at BlueCollarClothingCo.com. When you work hard, your gear should too. BlueCollarClothingCo.com.
Soar to new heights of winning with Eagle Casino and Sports. Enjoy your favorite games wherever you are, whether at home or on the go. Dive into exciting slots, spin the roulette wheel, or challenge yourself with virtual table games, all at your fingertips. Sign up now and opt in to receive a deposit match up to $1,500 for the casino, plus up to 100 free spins. Download the Eagle Casino and Sports app today and experience winning with just a tap. Go you! Must be located in Michigan and 21 years or older. Other conditions apply. Visit playeagle.com to join the action. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Watch the Traverse City West Titans, streaming live at UpNorthSportsRadio.com.
Brought to you in part by TVC Cherry Capital Airport, your hometown airport, flying nonstop to the sun every day. TVCAirport.com.
TC West Titans on UpNorthSportsRadio.com.
You should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who've made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Ever wonder why you have insurance for your car or home, but not your digital life? Meet WebRoot Total Protection, your digital bodyguard that is built for real life. WebRoot takes the guessing game out of cybersecurity so you can confidently browse, bank, and be yourself online without the worry of hackers lurking around the corner. With WebRoot Total Protection, you get antivirus that scans 6 times faster and takes up 33 times less space than the other guys. Identity protection with up to $1 million in fraud expense reimbursement and 24/7 US-based customer support. VPN protection that hides your IP address, personal data, and location from hackers. And cloud backup with unlimited storage that works automatically in the background. With plans for individuals and families, WebRoot makes it easy to live a better digital life. Go to webroot.com/save and get 50% off today. That's webroot.com/save to get 50% off today. Live a better digital life with WebRoot, because peace of mind shouldn't be optional.
This is the Rich Eisen Show.
WGRY, a division of Blarney Stone Broadcasting, 101.1 FM, Roscommon.
A podcast so you can listen anytime. But here's the best part. Our YouTube channel. Subscribe at youtube.com/Rich Eisen Show and you'll never miss a moment. Now, on with the show.
Yeah, I'm going to call it. I'm going to retire.
This is the Rich Eisen Show.
Our expectation was to come in here and win the game.
Picked off by Terrell Bernard. Live from the Rich Eisen Show studio in Los Angeles. Today's guests, NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero, ESPN NFL analyst Marcus Spears, plus latest news and more. And now, it's Rich Eisen.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to this Friday edition of the Rich Eisen Show live on Disney Plus and ESPN app, the ESPN app that you can get everywhere to check us out, stream us live every day between 12 and 3 Eastern time. We say hello to our audience that's listening to us on ESPN Radio, presented by Progressive Insurance. Everybody out there saying hi to you on Sirius XM Channel 80. 844-204-RICH is the number to dial to have a conversation with us. Today, Week 3 beckons in the National Football League, another weekend of college football, and I believe this is going to running out of weekends for Major League Baseball's regular season as the wild card weekends beckon as well. Thus, we're headed towards October. 844-204-RICH again is the number to dial. Tom Pelissero to join us, my colleague from the NFL Media Group on everything going on in the NFL, and Marcus Spears of Everything ESPN. You see him on pretty much every show. He will join us in the middle of this program Tom is up in about 18 minutes' time. Eager to know about Jaden Daniels. Eager to know about Brock Purdy. All the injuries that you need to know. Good to see you over there, Christopher Brockman. What's up, brother?
Rich, getting a little worried about the Sox, not going to lie.
Okay, yeah, the Guardians are closer and closer and closer. Once upon a time, finished, and now they're right
back.
there, 1.5 back.
Yeah.
Good to see you over there, Jason Feller. Jay Feller's
What's
here.
up, Rich?
CJ Jefferson, I hear you rustling over there. What's going on? How's it going?
I'm just thinking about how happy Pete Alonso's made me the last 4 games.
The Polar Bears taking you off the griddle.
Home run after home run.
Me too. Fantasy finals.
Good for you guys. Terrific. And TJ, after today, heading off to Indianapolis, Indiana, where you and O'Shea Jackson Jr. will be honchoing a 2-hour pre-WrestlePalooza show on the ESPN YouTube and Facebook pages. We're very excited for you and about that.
I'm starting to get a little nervous.
You'll be fine.
and a 15-minute post wrap-up show.
You got
is that right?
You
I
got
didn't
your
know about
more
that.
importantly, do you got your fit picked out? What are we doing with?
You know
shoes
me, Brockman.
and t-shirts?
How many pair of sneakers do you would think I went through last night?
Probably 80.
Well, like 5 or 6.
Well, all I know is he's checking 3 bags because that's what he does for a 2-day trip. And I'm not going on this trip, which means you
don't have to worry about it.
Free to do whatever you'd like to do.
You've beaten me over the head enough with it. It's carry on.
Yeah. Wow, that is top story. That is top story.
Jeez. Breaking news.
Okay.
My eyes see.
Outstanding.
With the flying your boy in
And
business,
it's always right here on the Rich Eisen Show on our El Segundo campus, where there's hardly a soul. The 2 people who are here are standing directly in the camera behind them.
Move. To be honest, there were 6 back there right before we went on air.
Listen, let's get jumping to it here, please. Our competition's already at halftime of the Thursday Night Football game. Listen, going into this game, the Miami Dolphins going into Buffalo with the weight of the world on their shoulders. As I mentioned, the hardest 0-2 in the National Football League. I guess you are what you are. 0-2 is 0-2. Right. But when you're 0-2 with a blowout loss in Indianapolis to start the season that causes a players-only meeting to happen 2 days later, and then you lose your home opener 5 days after that, there's a banner circling ahead. Somebody's paying for a banner to read, hey, fire everybody. And then you lose a division game at home. And then 5 days later, you got to go to Western New York, where the history, recent and even not so recent, says the Buffalo Bills are about to take you down and out, because that's what they do to the Miami Dolphins. And when we talk about the Bills in short order, you will hear exactly why everybody thought that, because they wound up doing it again. That said, the Miami Dolphins performed way better than a lot of people thought that they could or would. Chris Brockman, your higher register on Thursday was, I think the Dolphins can make it a game. Well, your higher register, spot on. You nailed that one.
Thank you.
Hey, yo.
Because the Dolphins came out with an impressive drive to open it. A touchdown, marched right down the field, and Ollie Gordon, their rookie back, who is bringing some heft to the running game.
Big boy. Yep.
Okay. He pops it in the end zone. And the Dolphins not only start the game that way, but they finish the first half with another touchdown drive with 8 seconds to go. And there's Jalen Waddle in the end zone. After it looked like the Bills had gotten their sea legs under them on a short week game for them, coming off of a 20-point beatdown of the Jets on the road, not too far from Western New York. In New Jersey. I'll give you Bill Sands, that piece of red meat, the only team that plays in New York.
Petty.
So,
that is petty.
Well, it's not petty, it's facts. Listen, the Miami Dolphins are in this football game. And then as a matter of fact, not only in this football game, but they do something that is so rare to be done to Josh Allen at home in a game in the fourth quarter. It's tied. And they got Josh Allen off the field with 10 minutes to go. Yeah. And then 2 of the Miami Dolphins captains make plays that they want back in the worst way. Like this morning, Zach Steeler has got to be waking up with the pit in his stomach and feeling like I feel every single time I lose a fantasy game. You need consolation and need to remind yourself about good things that are happening to you in the world. And I mean, he absolutely folds the Buffalo Bill blocking him on a punt and just gets in the backfield, and he probably is thinking about glory as he reaches out for the punter, Cameron Johnson.
Yeah, he probably thought he blocked it.
And
also,
he didn't.
inertia took over. He's 6'6", 300 pounds. What do you want him to do?
Just maybe not try and block the punt. I know that's 2020 hindsight, but it was a turnover. It was essentially a turnover. You're not going to see it in the turnover column, but the 15-yard penalty puts Josh Allen back on the field. And just like that, those horror movies where you know the calls that are coming from within the house are going to take somebody out.
Yeah.
You knew, like, Josh Allen wasn't going to go 3 and out with this extra opportunity. You just knew. The inevitable was just who's scoring and when. And it was 5 plays later in Khalil Shakir for the 3rd touchdown pass of the night for Josh Allen. Yeah. And it's just like, okay, are the Dolphins going to fold now? And the answer to that question is no. Tua comes out, and he starts marching down the field in a drive where I'm sitting there with my poker buddies, and we start talking out loud. Would they go for 2?
I thought the same thing.
If they score and you're in Western New York and you're 0-2 and you're scoring a touchdown, and what are you going to do? Give the ball back to Josh Allen and,
Nope.
Let the old man Prater do to you what he did to the Ravens? And then Tua, another guy with a C on his chest, throws a brutal interception. I mean, a brutal interception. Terrell Bernard just steps right in front of it.
Yeah, never saw him.
And that's all she wrote. Now it's all she wrote. And you're starting to wonder, now what? Miami Dolphins 0-3 for the first time since 2019 when Brian Flores was their head coach. They started 0-7, finished 5-11, got the 5th overall pick, and chose Tua, who now you're sitting here saying, what's happened to him? I mean, this is a guy, if you remember, in Mike McDaniel's first year, puts a 40-burger on the Ravens in a 4th quarter that the Dolphins were finished. And then the next year, he put 70 on the Denver Broncos in an offense that you're wondering, who's going to stop this offense? Is this the newfangled thing going on? And now, 2 of his first 3 games this year, he hasn't even topped 150 passing yards. And last night was one of those games, and he found both Tyreek and Waddle for touchdowns in the same game for the first time since week 8 2 years ago. And he still couldn't pull it off. And so you're wondering, like, when's this all going to get put together? Can it be put together? And, Tua said last week or 2 weeks ago that he keeps the outside noise off, goes home, and his kids put on Disney Plus. Well, we say hello if the Tagovailoa household is, they probably don't turn us on if you want to turn off the outside noise on Disney Plus.
Good point.
They might be hating that Pixar tile more than anything in that house. But now what? Now what? Because they played well. They did. And if you're questioning whether Mike McDaniel has the locker room, they came out prepared. They made plays, and just two captains. I mean, McDaniel had to be back on the flight thinking to himself, 2 guys that I got to depend on. This is what McDaniel had to say afterwards about, hey, I guess higher register question. Hey, you guys did play well. I mean, could you take something from that? Like silver lining conversation.
I'm never proud of a loss. And I'm not, we came here to win, and I refuse to take moral victories as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. It wasn't good enough, so that's where I'm at.
Yeah, he's got to be sick to his stomach. And then he asked about, again, he's put in a position. How do you handle calling your quarterback out? Again, we'll ask Kurt Warner next Wednesday, or I'll see him on Sunday. He might be watching the All-22, and he understands why Tua did what he did, or route wasn't run here or whatever. But it always looks bad on a quarterback when with 3 minutes to go and you're on the opposing team's 21 and you're marching down the field. And I'm sitting there thinking, does Mike McDaniel go for 2? Do you wind this thing down with less than 30 seconds to go and give yourself a chance for 1 2-point play, one play from the 2-yard line, and instead Tua just throws it right to Terrell Bernard, and it's all she wrote? This is what McDaniel had to say.
I wanted to protect the ball. I wish I could, I think the quarterback has to be responsible for it. However, I wish I could just put it on him, but I think it's a tough job to do when there's someone in your face. We need everybody needs to do better, and we can't. If you got to ditch the ball to the flat in moments like that, and that's what we have to learn from.
So, all right, before I comment, I think Tua's talking about that. I think we have that soundbite as well. Let's load that one up. Here's what Tua had to say about that pick.
I thought I was in rhythm, in timing of the play. Seeing the flat defender go over the top of Jalen. Jalen's turning around. I think that was a really good play by the defender. And had some color in my face trying to maneuver the throw as well. But 10 out of 10 times, if we're looking at that same thing, I think I'd still try to work that timing of hitting that spot. And I think the linebacker made a great play on that.
Well, I guess he and McDaniel are going to have a conversation about, the flats where you're supposed to go with it. If he's thinking about 9 more cracks at it, he'd do the same thing. Listen, this is now going to be, and he knows it too. Tua now knows it's going to be an extra half a week of the question of, did you make the wrong decision by signing this guy long term? Because it is just not on tilt anymore. This offense isn't on tilt anymore. And then the defense has given up 30 points a game now in every game this season. Last time the Dolphins defense started a season with giving up at least 30 points in first three games. It's only the second time in franchise history. The last time they did it was their last 0-3 start where they went 0-7. Last team to do it in the NFL period was the 2020 Falcons, who finished 4-12. So if that's the canary in the coal mine, this season's over. Last team to do it finished 4-12. The last time the Dolphins did it, they were 0-7 and wound up picking 5th overall. Let's put up the schedule if you don't mind. Let's hunt and peck for a silver lining before Tom Pelissero joins us from what looks like his car. You've got a Monday nighter home against the Jets, who could stroll in there 0-3. The Jets have Tyrod Taylor in Tampa for the Buccaneers home opener, and if the Bucs do to the Jets what they've done to the first 2 opponents, it's going to be a long day for the OG, Tyrod Taylor. They're at Carolina and home for the Chargers. Now, that's going to be obviously a significantly important game if they win their next 2, and maybe their toughest opponent, with all due respect to Buffalo. By the end of the day, we might see it, that the Chargers are the toughest team in the American Football Conference, period. I mean, can you say there's 2 games that they should win when you're 0-3? But when you see an opponent like the Bills be beatable last night, and then 2 foot shoots at the worst possible time in the fourth quarter, one by a defensive captain, one by an offensive captain. Go figure that, the captains.
They got to win the next 2. Just there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And then they're at Cle. I mean, there are some games that the Dolphins, if they put up points and just slice a touchdown off of what they're giving up, it's possible. Mm-hmm. It's possible.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
the light at the end of the tunnel is quite dim. And I don't know what it's like in South Florida. You can call us from there. I know we're on the air on ESPN Radio down in South Florida. I phoned into the station a couple of days ago. So we say hello to everybody out there. Call us. What's the mood like down there? I can assume what it is, but Stephen Ross might hear it and make a rash move. I don't think he should do that. I think there was just enough what we just saw on Thursday Night Football to stay the course and see what could happen. Clean this up, clean that up. And I know Mooch says it all the time on Sunday mornings, and it kind of frustrates me because I need, as a fan, to hang something more on it. Just play better. That's what he says. Play better, coach better.
Yeah. Well.
And that's what coaches say. Just clean this up, clean that up. They walk out of Western New York with a win. But, as we all know, if a particular matriarch had wheels, she would be a particular vehicle.
It just seemed like to me...
I'm talking McDaniel now. You know what I mean?
This version of the Dolphins, to me, just kind of died on the frozen turf of Arrowhead a couple years ago.
Interesting that you say that,
Seems
Chris,
that
because
way,
I got
right?
one last stat for you here, courtesy of the National Football League Network research staff. And, of course, I did not peg it, but they are, since that loss in Kansas City, they have only 8 wins, I do believe, since that loss in Kansas City on that frozen day. That was the ESPN article. Let me get that out before we throw to break and get Tom Pelissero here for the first time on this Friday program.
And unfortunately, maybe Tom can clarify this too. They're kind of stuck with Tua. His cap hits are monstrous for the next couple of seasons. I thought I heard he's owed more money than Josh Allen.
Yeah,
so they can't move off of him, unfortunately.
8-3 since that wild card loss in Kansas City in 2023.
8-13, maybe.
8-13. Yeah. Did I say 8-3? 8-13. Yeah. Conveniently for Miami, left off the one.
Not good.
Maybe that's my like for Mike McDaniel that I dropped that one. All right, let's take a break. Tom Pelissero is in his car, everybody, but he's still going to dispense information like nobody can. That's next. Marcus Spears of ESPN and you at 844-204-RICH on a What's More Likely Friday as well.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
As a scientist, I can tell you that Sundays are only 24 hours long. But with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get every game every Sunday all in one place. That's upwards of 30 hours of NFL in one day. How can there be 30 hours in 24 hours, you ask? I have a theory. Magic. New users get NFL Sunday Ticket for 8 payments of $34.50 per month. Sign up at NFLSundayTicket.com. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games and commercial use. Terms and embargoes apply. Availability varies.
Free trial is 7 days. If customer does not cancel prior to the end of a trial period, fees will apply.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Open Phone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Open Phone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Open Phone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Open Phone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Open Phone. Open Phone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Open Phone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. Openphone.com/TRY.
Happy Friday! It's Apple 910 meteorologist Haley Fischetti, and here's a look at today's forecast. Expecting to see more of that sunshine across the region today, as a lot of us are expecting the warmer temperatures once again in the upper 60s to upper 70s with dry skies throughout the day. Expecting some rain chances to develop heading into the overnight hours with mostly cloudy skies and temperatures staying in the 50s. For your Saturday, things are staying on the drier side to start, where isolated showers will start to move in, however, leaving for some rumbles of thunder and temperatures feeling a bit cooler in the 60s and 70s. While the details over on 9 and 10 News.
The Michigan News Network.
I'm Beth Fisher. Michigan's chief medical executive, Dr. Natasha Bagdasarian, has made a standing recommendation on COVID-19 vaccines after Governor Whitmer's executive directive to state agencies to ensure Michigan families can access the vaccines. Bagdasarian says COVID-19 vaccines have been proven to reduce the likelihood of emergency department or urgent care visits, as well as hospitalizations and severe outcomes. A repossession agent was attempting to tow a vehicle Thursday in Penfield Township near Battle Creek when an unknown man intentionally hit him with another vehicle, pinning the victim between two cars. The suspect took off. First responders administered life-saving measures before taking the victim to the hospital. The agent has significant injuries and is in stable condition. The suspect vehicle was spotted later in Battle Creek, and a 28-year-old Battle Creek man was arrested. Tonight's Mega Millions, $423 million. I'm Beth Fisher for the Michigan News Network.
The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council present the story of Tom and Levi.
Tom is the smartest man I know. He's been a professor at 2 major universities, been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, he told me that he was having problems in his classes. I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. And he was telling them that he was doing it as a favor to them, but I think in reality he just wanted to get out of there. I was really starting to worry because I saw something was wrong.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me, and my love for him was just immense.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Call today for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
What if the dollar was no longer the world's reserve currency? According to former IMF chief economist Kenneth Rogoff, that future is coming faster than you think. His new book, Our Dollar, Your Problem, reveals how rising debt, inflation, and global de-dollarization could lead to a full-blown currency crisis, one that could wipe out retirement accounts tied to the stock market or the dollar. That's why Advantage Gold is giving away free copies of this urgent book when you schedule your one-on-one precious metals appointment. You'll learn how to legally move your IRA or 401k into physical gold and silver, avoid taxes and penalties using a little-known IRS-approved strategy, and how to receive up to $10,000 in free gold and silver when you qualify. Protect your retirement before it's too late. Call 800-324-9902 now. That's 800-324-9902. Or visit AdvantageGold.com to claim your free copy. There's no cost, just the truth. No precious metals purchase necessary. Call 800-324-9902 now. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
I'm optimistic that by then we're going to be good to go.
Tom Pelissero, we're back on our ESPN Radio presented by Progressive Insurance airwaves, and Tom Pelissero joining us from his front seat of his car due to Wi-Fi issues in his house. We're all fully up to speed here on the program. Let's jump into things with Jaden Daniels first up. What do we know about him? The media didn't see him out practicing on Friday, and we heard he was mentally preparing, or preparing mentally, as Dan Quinn said, giving me an idea for a new racehorse name should I ever own one, like I guess like your colleague, our colleague Ian. What do you think here, about Jaden Daniels, Tom?
Jaden Daniels is not going to start on Sunday. It's going to be Marcus Mariota for the Commanders against the Raiders. Daniels was able to get out there after the media viewing period. He did a little on the field, but you go back to what Dan Quinn said at the start of the week, which was they were going to proceed with caution. They had to see him practice in order to play. Well, he got, again, some limited type of activity today, but clearly not enough. They also made very clear, DQ did, that they weren't going to put Daniels on the field unless he was full go. So all those things together obviously got you to the point where they feel most confident moving forward with Marcus Mariota. So Marcus Mariota's played on enough teams now that we could have any number of revenge games around the league. This is certainly one of them. He was a member of the Raiders at one time. He'll be out there against Las Vegas.
Okay, so there's a question looking back, and now there's a question looking forward. First up, the question looking back. When did this happen in the Thursday nighter game in Green Bay? Do we know when this happened?
It was a play where he got tackled awkwardly from behind. It was in I believe the second or third quarter. He just kind of got wrapped up. He came up limping a little bit. He did have a wrap on it in the locker room after the game. They MRI'd him. It's a knee sprain. So there is a ligament involved here. It's not something that's expected to be long term. I would not anticipate Jaden Daniels goes on injured reserve. He may well be back in week 4. But it makes sense. I mean, we don't have to bring up the comparisons to another young, bright Washington quarterback who had a knee injury and they rolled him out on the field. It made it worse, and his career was never the same again. Obviously, Commanders fans don't need to, relive RG3 all over again. But this is not that injury. This is not as significant. This is very much a conscious decision that, yes, if this were a playoff game, maybe the decision-making is different. But it's week 3. There's a long way to go for a team with high expectations. So hold Jaden Daniels back this week. He'd probably put himself on the field if it were solely up to him, but hold him back right now, get him fully healthy, and I would anticipate in the coming weeks here he'll be ready to roll.
Well, I mean, the next 2 games for Washington are against 2 teams that in the first couple weeks of the season have shown some pass rush, to say the least, at Atlanta, at the Chargers, Tom. So you think it's possible he's back for week 4 at Atlanta?
Well, the Raiders also have Max Crosby, who can make your life miserable regardless of how mobile you are.
Right.
Back in there in the pocket. But, it certainly seems like this is a day-to-day type of a situation. Okay. They gave him the week. He was able to get out there a little bit today, not enough to convince them. So Mario gets to go on Sunday.
Okay, before we continue on with any other injuries of note to keep an eye on in week 3, Tom Pelissero here on the Rich Eisen Show. What happens with the Dolphins at 0-3? Any temperature, pulse check of Stephen Ross here that's worthy of looking at, or the Dolphins aren't even thinking about this sort of stuff?
Here's what I would tell you, Rich, because there's going to be people who talk about that game last night, which was a loss still, even though they were certainly competitive in that game, as well. They saved their jobs. I never got the sense, in speaking with people and understanding the situation, I never got any sense that this was even a consideration. Now, you lose 100-0 last night, a lot of different things can change. That was not that type of game. You saw that they were competitive, especially on the offensive side of the football. You got the ball in the hands of Tyreek. You got the ball, at least in the end zone, once to Jalen Waddle. You really seem to have found something in Ollie Gordon. The issues that they ran into were very much the issues we've seen through the course of this season, and a lot of it boils down to Tua Tagovailoa. I know that the quarterback gets, more of the credit than they should when you win. They get more of the blame when you lose. But he's got 5 turnovers this season, and they have been some big ones, and they've been some fundamental ones. You go back to week 1 in Indianapolis, Lou Anarumo just calls a standard zone drop, and Tua throws a ball right to Leatu Latu that looks like he's targeting him on the play for a pick as that thing kind of got away from him. Last week against the Patriots, there were operational issues late in that game too, which were not great. But Tua, from a decision-making standpoint, it wasn't great. Then, and I heard you guys talking about this in the last segment, there's Tua's version saying, hey, he just made a great play. There's McDaniel's version saying the ball's got to go to the flat. When I watched that play back, and I am not, a quarterback guru, you certainly could follow up, Rich. You've got enough of those guys in the rotation on this show. But that play, which is a concept, by the way, the Dolphins don't run a lot. I know that there was a comment made by Terrell Bernard that, we saw things on tape. They don't run that play a whole lot. When I watched that play and knowing what it's supposed to look like, the whole thing looks rushed. Watch Tua Tagovailoa on that play. He's in the shotgun or the pistol on that play, but there's still supposed to be a drop. He kind of gets it and doesn't entirely look off the flat, and then just kind of comes back and his feet are stuck in cement. The whole thing just looked like it was sped up. And so when the timing is off and the angles are off, if there's things with your drop or the timing of the play, that creates opportunities for defenders to make plays on the football. There's obviously other things that happened in that game last night. The Zach Sealer punt block. Why are they trying to block the punt? Why is Zach Sealer on the field? Why is Zach Sealer anywhere near Bill Burr, the new punter, Cameron Johnston for the Bills? And then the Jordan Brooks one, where it looks to me, I've watched that play back because it was running over and over on a loop on TV this morning. I've watched it 10 times. It looks like Brooks is kind of, he maybe is giving him the business a little extra, but he's trying to ease off and he kind of falls awkwardly. Official throws the flag. You just can't put yourself in that type of a position. But in terms of if you're looking for, has Mike McDaniel lost the locker room? Have the leaders bailed on this thing? Does Tyreek Hill look like a guy who's going to push the eject button? I don't sense any of that there, and I don't sense that in the building. The other part of this, Rich, and I know you alluded to this as well, the Dolphins are very much tied to Tua for the 2026 season. He is due, forget the cap hits if you cut him, he is due $54 million fully guaranteed in 2026. And if he's still on your roster, I think it's the third day of the league year in March, which when you own $54 million fully guaranteed, it's a good bet he is. Another $3 million in 2027 becomes fully guaranteed. So if you move on from, let's say, Mike McDaniel right now, which again, I've never gotten the sense that was a consideration 3 weeks into a 17-game season, what purpose is it serving? What are you trying to get out of the next 14 games? And oh, by the way, then you're locking yourself into we have to hire a new head coach for 2026, and that head coach is going to be told, all right, we got $54 million in Tua. What are you going to do with him? This has to be your quarterback. That may not be palatable to a lot of people. I mean, there's not enough said, and I don't mean to just be a Mike McDaniel defender here, but there is not enough talked about with the hoops that Mike McDaniel has to jump through on a week-in, week-out basis to design a game plan for a quarterback who can't get hit. You can't have him holding the ball. You can't have him designed runs. You can't really run quarterback sneaks. We've seen some of the, in relative terms, the least athletic quarterbacks in the NFL get exposed at times as runners. Tom Brady ran a pass route in a Super Bowl. It didn't end well, but they put that in the game plan. You can't do that with Tua. You can't run a naked bootleg. You're not going to run zone read with him just to keep people honest. If you watch the game last night, whether it's he's not trusting the protection, whether it's he doesn't want to get hit, or he's been told don't get hit, he's not stepping up in the pocket. Everything when there's pressure, he's going out the back of the pocket and he's flushing left. And all those things combined make it really hard to produce on a week in and week out basis, that even when you draw up a play that maybe has a chance to succeed, he either doesn't go the right spot with it, or the timing and the drop is off. It's just a lot of different things that go into this. And having said all that, Rich, they've still, if you look at the schedule on the other side of the bye, they've got 4 or 5 winnable games coming up here where they've got a chance to get back in it, but they've got to get better as a team. They've got to clean up those self-inflicted errors, and Tua's got to play a lot better than he's played through these first 3 weeks.
Tom Pelissero with the latest on the Miami Dolphins here on the Rich Eisen Show. Is there a shot for Brock Purdy to play for the 2-0 Niners against the 2-0 Cardinals? You want to talk about a game somewhat under the radar? What do you got for me on that one, Tom?
We had Calais Campbell on the Insiders the other night, Rich.
Love that guy.
And, he's back. Obviously, he was gone for almost a decade from Arizona. I'm like, this is probably the biggest game they've had since you were there the first time. And they went to the NFC Championship game and then got their doors blown off in Carolina in that game. But there's not been a lot of those opportunities. And for a Cardinals team that's been steadily building with a really young, dynamic coaching staff, this is huge. This is a moment to kind of say, we're not just the team that kind of hangs around and they're fun. Hey, yeah, you won 7 games. Congrats. No, we're actually a playoff type of force. Ian Rappaport asked Calais, what quarterback do you want to face? Calais does, you want the honest answer? Yeah, I'd rather face Mac Jones. He just got there. Brock's a master of the offense. Nothing against Mac, but I'd rather face him just because, he doesn't have all the time on task that Brock Purdy does, which I appreciate the honesty of that answer from Calais, who's seen a lot through the course of his career here. But yes, it does sound like Brock Purdy's got an opportunity and there's a possibility he could go. But there's several different moving parts here. One is they're seeing how his body reacts. He's got a left shoulder and a toe. The toe's the real problem. It's on the bottom of his foot. It's kind of like a variation of turf toe, not nearly as severe as what Joe Burrow had, but it's uncomfortable. And so he's got to see from a functionality, a pain tolerance, a body response perspective, how he gets through these practices. And then the other part of it is, do the 49ers want to put Brock Purdy out there if Brock Purdy is not 100%, from how he protects himself, how, just how the game plan can function, what you can put in it here. So there's going to be some discussions, but you heard Brock Purdy say it himself to reporters yesterday that, you got to see how he's feeling on game day. That would indicate Brock at least wants the opportunity. Hey, list me as questionable. Give me another 72 hours. Let's see how I feel here. We don't know on the outside exactly what the division of reps has been through the course of the week here. This may just be the ramp-up period in Kyle Shanahan's mind. Play Mac again, and then the following week get Brock out there. But they have not ruled him out. Kyle has said that there's a chance. We'll find out a little bit more this afternoon.
Okay, and then you mentioned about Burrow's toe. I guess is today surgery day for him? And walk me through what his process might look like, and because I know when we were talking about it last week, Tom, you were saying 3 months from now would be Cincinnati's game home for Baltimore on week 15. So even if he gets some more rest time, it's Jake Browning's show potentially for the rest of the regular season, unless you tell me differently right now.
That's been sort of the belief, Joe Burrow being a competitor, and frankly, having missed as much time as he's had, and not want to be labeled about the guy who's just always got the injuries. He's going to do everything he can to get back, assuming that Jake Browning can keep the Bengals in this thing long enough for Burrow to get back. But 3 months is really the baseline here. This is like 12 to 14 weeks probably from the people that I've talked to familiar with this injury. A grade 3 turf toe, you're talking about things torn under there. That's why there's no rehab option. There was no, hey, hope the pain goes away and heal up and maybe you're back. No, that's not possible. This is not a Brock Purdy type of an injury. This is something really severe here. So the plan was to have the surgery today, but the swelling needs to come out, and so they were going to evaluate. I don't know at this moment whether they actually got the surgery done today, but that has been the plan. That then starts that 3 month or 12 to 14 week clock. So sometime late in the season, this reminds me a little, Rich, of Aiden Hutchinson last year, where there was always that carrot out there for Aiden Hutchinson of, hey, if the Lions get to the Super Bowl, that's the soonest. Maybe you can get back. With Joe, it's like, hey, if the Bengals can stay alive until the end of the season, maybe you can get back. It's not a guarantee that you're going to be in that situation. It's not a guarantee everything's going to go right from a rehab perspective. But I also know from talking to Lions people about Aiden Hutchinson, different injury, obviously. But the reason that you've heard Dan Campbell and others say, hey, Aiden looks better than he ever has, part of that is because they feel like because he was so aggressive and attacked the rehab the way that he did, he actually came back and was in a better position than he was previously, just because he had rehabbed so aggressively. Maybe you get something similar here with Joe Burrow. He'll push that timetable. It does sound like it'll be 3 months, and we'll get our first real taste of can Jake Browning keep this train on the tracks on Sunday against Carson Wentz and the Vikings.
Right there in that town in Minnesota, Tom. I'm pleased to be able to give you information for a change. I think quite literally while I was asking you the question, Zach Taylor in Cincinnati confirmed he did have Burrow did have the surgery today. So that timeline you just laid out for us is now officially a clock that's running. Before I let you go, my weekly question that I promised you I would ask you every single time is, because again, I know the way your life is and the information men and women in our business constantly getting texts from people around the league looking to you for information as well, and also to maybe spill tea or want to gossip about other teams. Which team has been, I guess, blowing your phone up the most in terms of interest, whether because they're 2-0 or 0-2 or wondering about their situation? Which is the team that's showing up on your phone from around the league the most?
Well, I think we covered Miami pretty thoroughly, right. So let's set them aside for a second and assume that over this mini bye, things calm down a little bit, at least locally and nationally around that team. I would say the team that I'm asked about the most is what's going on in Cleveland. What is the Browns' plan here? They have been ineffective offensively to this point. They have a 40-year-old quarterback in Joe Burrow who certainly can operate the offense, but it's not operated at a particularly high level. Quinshon Judkins, who just got back, and who knows how long he will be able to stay on the field if the NFL does in fact enact discipline, which that process is still ongoing. He's not yet been able to make the impact that they wanted him to make. Jerry Jeudy is your top receiver. Where else is the playmaking coming from here? And oh, by the way, you drafted 2 quarterbacks who are both sitting and biding their time. I'm not saying the Browns right now are on blow it up watch. What I would say is a lot of people within the league are going to be monitoring what is happening with the Browns in the coming weeks. Remember, they got a Week 5 game in London against the Vikings. We all know that when teams have pressure on them, those international games, the flight back, the bye after. I can't remember if they actually have their bye immediately after, but that's a lot of times. They don't have their bye after.
Correct.
But neither did the Jets when they fired Robert Saleh on a Tuesday. So you've got a unique type of a situation here where people are just wondering, like, what buttons are they going to push? Could they be a team that ends up, wanting to sell? Do they feel like they can afford to be sellers at the trade deadline if this thing does not turn around? Again, they could go out and they could stun the Packers on Sunday, but failing that, they're going to be an 0-3 team in a division where you've got at least one team in the Ravens who looks, regardless of how things ended against Buffalo, they look like they could be one of the NFL's best. You're chasing the Steelers. You're still chasing the Bengals, who are 2-0, despite everything that they've got going on here. Where does it lead in Cleveland? There will be a lot of focus on that. The trade deadline is still, I believe, 7 weeks away. Right now, it's the first week in November. As we lead up to that, and there will be, of course, additional scrutiny if you continue to lose games on the coaching staff, on the front office. But the short term is, at what point do they change quarterbacks? At what point could they become sellers? Those are all questions that people within the league are asking right now about the Browns.
Yeah, and in the short term, where do they go after the home day game with Green Bay at Detroit before they then head to London against the Vikings and potentially still Carson Wentz or J.J. McCarthy? So keeping an eye on all of that. Tom, I really appreciate you going the extra yard and after your Wi-Fi goes out in the house. Now, please go home so you could respond to the text as to whether the Wi-Fi is back on. And also, to be honest, I think you're creeping people out in that parking lot, sitting in your car for 25 minutes talking to
I might
windshield.
go get some wings.
Okay, yeah, please do that.
I can actually smell it.
Okay.
It's wafting.
Very good. Okay,
So,
all the sensory.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks to my boys in studio.
Creeping people out in a Minneapolis parking lot. Tom Pelissero. He goes for the rest of the day.
Love it.
All right.
Hey, Rich, say hi to Tom. I'm going to send him this.
What's up? That's so stupid. Why am I lending credence to this silliness? I don't know.
Because it's hilarious.
All right. We will take a break, come back, talk about what the Bills did on Thursday night and how they move forward, and more of your phone calls at 844-204-RICH.
Progressive knows there's so many great things about being a sports fan. Like scoring the company box seats. How great is that? Trick plays that actually work. Prevent defense when your team is winning by a lot. And even more preventative prevent defense as they're hanging on by a thread. And of course, saving money when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's pretty great. Just like trick plays that actually work.
Yeah, but how often does that happen?
Complaining about sports. Not so great. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State. With 10 minutes left in the second quarter, Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
ServPro. Like it never even happened.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey, sports fans, it's time to plan your next big adventure in northern Michigan. Here are a few upcoming gems from the Kirtland Community College Up North Sports Radio community calendar at upnorthsportsradio.com. Tickets are on sale now for Australian guitar legend Orianthi, coming to the Venue Events Center in Cadillac October 9th. Get tickets at thevenueeccadillac.com. The Michigan Firemen's Memorial Festival is this Friday and Saturday at the Fire Training Grounds in Roscommon. There's a light parade in downtown Roscommon Friday night at 9 and the festival parade at noon on Saturday. See firefighting and rescue demonstrations and junior firefighting training activities for the kids. Vendors, food trucks, and dancing in the Big Red Barn each night. The Lions Barbecue Chicken Dinner is at noon on Saturday, and a pancake breakfast closes the festival Sunday morning at 8. Q100 Michigan will be there Friday and Saturday afternoon with free Fago and the Spin to Win Wheel. The 16th Annual Central Michigan HIV/AIDS 5K is this Saturday at Island Park in Mount Pleasant. Proceeds support community health programs. Find a link to sign up in advance at Q100Michigan.com under the Events tab. Mount Hope Lutheran Church in Grayling will host a free food distribution Monday, September 22nd at 10 a.m. Drive through their location at 905 North I-75 Business Loop in Grayling. McLean's Ace Hardware in Grayling is hosting a Business Customer Appreciation Day Wednesday, September 24th from 8 to 2. Coffee and donuts, free drawings, vendor demos, and giveaways and special event pricing deals from Milwaukee Tools, Steel Power Tools, and Benjamin Moore Paint.
Submit your community events to the Kirtland Community College Up North Sports Radio community calendar at upnorthsportsradio.com under the Community tab. See the whole calendar and listen to today's rundown as a podcast there. upnorthsportsradio.com.
Whether you're entering college for the first time or looking to change careers, Kirtland Community College will guide you on your own adventure. Kirtland tuition is 1/3 of most four-year colleges and universities to reduce the worry about affordability and debt. Choose your own adventure from 38 degrees and certificates. When you're ready to take that first step, Kirtland will assist you with financial aid, grants, and scholarships. Kirtland Community College, your next adventure starts there. Kirtland.edu. Kirtland.edu. Time is running out for a trip to the best seasonal restaurants in the north. Tacos Lupe and Wimpy's are open until the middle of October, but $25 gift cards from QDealsMI.com will be valid for summers to come. Get $25 gift cards from Tacos Lupe or Wimpy's for just $15. Then enjoy 40% savings every time you slide into Tacos Lupe for fresh handmade Mexican specialties or Wimpy's hand-dipped ice cream treats. There's no limit, so get enough gift cards at QDealsMI.com for this season and next. QDealsMI.com.
Watch the TCUS Titans streaming live at upnorthsportsradio.com.
Brought to you in part by Jimmy John's in Traverse City, the sandwich of sandwiches.
TCUS Titans on upnorthsportsradio.com.
Protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-785-9132. That's 800-785-9132. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-785-9132.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, everybody, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com. Everybody, check that out whenever you can. We greatly appreciate it.
Great mold coverage, too.
So, by the way, we did not, we were very 0-3, Dolphins are in trouble centric to kick off the program. Buffalo Bills football. Again, they pretty much have won every different way you can so far. One at home in a track meet where they're losing, and it looks like they're not going to be the best team in the AFC, just one game out of the gate, and we'll use this as a prism for the rest of the year. Certainly having a problem with the Ravens and a tiebreaker throughout the year, and then boom, fourth quarter for the ages, and it's a 40-burger over 40-burger win. Then they go to MetLife to take on the Jets. They win by 20, beat the Jets straight up, knocked the quarterback out of this week's game, and Josh Allen accounts for 0 touchdowns. They still win by 20. And then last night's a 10-point win. When Allen scores, has 3 touchdowns, but they needed a little bit of the luck, where for some reason Zach Sealer roughs their punter. And and they take advantage. That's what championship teams do. You make a mistake, we're going to beat you over the head with it. I talked about how the Eagles are doing that now, and the Bills are doing that as well. Also, they win a game without Ed Oliver, without Matt Milano up the middle. So they're just next man up is doing what they need to do. The guy on the screen, though, when you play for the Buffalo Bills, it's tough to be their MVP when Josh Allen is suiting them, okay?
Right.
But James Cook is playing most valuable snaps. He's logging excellent repetitions for them. And thank goodness they signed him.
Yeah.
They took care of that business, because what James Cook is doing is getting the ball in the end zone and creating massive problems. Massive. I know, listen, not everybody is rostering Khalil Shakir or Keon Coleman. Dalton Kincaid scored almost a second time last night.
Where was this Kincaid last year?
But James Cook, man, as Allen is doing his thing, 13th career win against Miami. Only Tom Brady has more career wins against Miami. 24, I might add. 302 offensive touchdowns now for Josh Allen, fastest player in NFL history to reach 300 career offensive touchdowns, including playoffs, surpassing Mahomes in that regard. 86th career quarterback win. First reigning MVP since Mahomes in 2019 to start 3-0. But James Cook, man, he is putting the ball in the end zone. Rushing touchdown in 7 straight games now. Tied for the longest streak in the history of the Buffalo Bills. Back-to-back 100-yard rushing games for only the second time in his career. He's getting it done as a matchup nightmare. And the Bills are outstanding. I say it all the time. I'll say it again. When you look at them, you're like, really? They won by 20? They won by 10? And each time you're like, it feels like it's more than that, because they have a sense of inevitability. Josh Allen is as dominant a quarterback as we've seen anytime. He's that good. And they are maybe the best team in the NFL as a sum of its parts. Together, collectively, coaching, McDermott at the helm, and Joe Brady as their offensive coordinator. As a sum of its parts, you're looking at them and you're like, individually, really? Am I scared of that guy? Am I scared of that guy? Am I scared of that guy? Together, they're frightening. And the team that they cannot beat in the playoffs is 0-2. So, the ultimate higher register? Maybe this is their year?
Well, you mentioned the luck aspect, right? They're getting kind of the bounces and that type of lucky stuff that we've seen Kansas City get during their championship run here.
Maybe so.
So you're wondering, yeah, maybe the tide has turned Buffalo's way. Certainly it would be fun for the league, and obviously their fans deserve it, and they've got Josh Allen, so anything's possible.
Tie break against the Ravens in their back pocket. Chiefs are 0-2. They do not play the Chargers in the regular season, and the other 2-0 teams in the conference are the Colts and the Burrowless Bengals. Things are looking good for the Bills after 3 weeks. What is it that makes the all-new Hyundai Palisade hybrid an incredible SUV? Is it the spacious interior that's comfy for the whole crew? Or the capability to go off-road? Maybe it's up to 600-plus miles of range. Is it the driver behind the wheel? What if it's all of that and more? What is it then? The all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. So much more than just another SUV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details. That's 562-314-4603.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
90s rock monsters. Bush, Saturday, December 20th at Soaring Eagle Casino. Showtime 8 p.m. Tickets start at $59 and are on sale now at the box office or online at etix.com. Christmas rocks at Soaring Eagle Casino. Don't miss Bush. Bush, December 20th, SoaringEagleCasino.com.
The all-new Mahindra 1100 and 2100 compact tractors are tougher and smarter than anything else out there. With reliable diesel power, our best ever lift capacity, easy-to-use dual-pedal HST, and built-in tech like crank assist, a push-button PTO, and a handy companion app, Mahindra is outworking the field. Head to your local dealer now to get great deals on these all-new tractors.
Visit your Mahindra dealer at Zaremba Equipment in Gaylord or online at zarembaequipment.com or Pioneer Diesel in Traverse City or pioneerdiesel.com.
It's September and interest rates are coming down at Matt LaFontaine Automotive. How about 0% on new Chevy Silverados plus up to $2,000 in additional rebates, or lease a brand new Chevy Trax for just $259 per month. Your trade will never be worth more than it is today at Matt LaFontaine Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Make it great, make it matter at Matt LaFontaine Chevrolet GMC in Grayling. Visit us 24 hours a day at MattLaFontaineChevyGMC.com.
Game days are big. No, they're huge at Alpine Tavern and Eatery in Gaylord. The Lions, go green, go white, go blue. Alpine is your special place to get into the game. Incredible food with juicy pub house burgers, Bricko fries, wings, and your favorite ice cold beers. We'll even stay open late when the game goes late. Grab your friends on game day and experience up north flavor. Get more at alpinetavernandeatery.com.
Feeling overwhelmed or sad? Struggling with your mental health, substance use, or thoughts of suicide? Turn to Michigan's 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Call, text, or chat 988 for free confidential support 24/7. Dial 988 or learn more at michigan.gov/988. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Watch the TC West Titans streaming live at upnorthsportsradio.com.
Brought to you in part by Traverse City Area Public Schools. They exist to educate. tcaps.net.
TC West Titans on upnorthsportsradio.com.
Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
What if the dollar was no longer the world's reserve currency? According to former IMF chief economist Kenneth Rogoff, that future is coming faster than you think. His new book, Our Dollar, Your Problem, reveals how rising debt, inflation, and global de-dollarization could lead to a full-blown currency crisis, one that could wipe out retirement accounts tied to the stock market or the dollar. That's why Advantage Gold is giving away free copies of this urgent book when you schedule your one-on-one precious metals appointment. You'll learn how to legally move your IRA or 401k into physical gold and silver, avoid taxes and penalties using a little-known IRS-approved strategy, and how to receive up to $10,000 in free gold and silver when you qualify. Protect your retirement before it's too late. Call 800-324-9902 now. That's 800-324-9902. Or visit AdvantageGold.com to claim your free copy. There's no cost, just the truth. No precious metals purchase necessary. Call 800-324-9902 now. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
This is the Rich Eisen Show.
WGRY, a division of Blarney Stone Broadcasting, 101.1 FM, Roscommon.
Got a podcast so you can listen anytime. But here's the best part. Our YouTube channel. Subscribe at youtube.com/Rich Eisen Show and you'll never miss a moment. Now, on with the show.
Yeah, I'm going to call it. I'm going to retire.
This is the Rich Eisen Show.
Our expectation was to come in here and win the game.
Picked off by Terrell Bernard. Live from the Rich Eisen Show studio in Los Angeles. Earlier on the show, NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero. Coming up, ESPN NFL analyst Marcus Spears. Plus, latest news and more. And now, it's Rich Eisen.
Hour 2 of this Friday before Week 3 edition of the Rich Eisen Show is on the air. 844-204-RICH is the number to dial, whether you're streaming us live on Disney Plus or ESPN, the app you can get everywhere for all ESPN things, or whether you're listening to us on ESPN Radio presented by Progressive Insurance or Sirius XM Channel 80, or our podcast version of this show, all 3 hours, wherever you can get your podcasts. 844-204-RICH again is the number to dial to have a conversation with us. We're about to take a phone call. What's more likely coming up? Marcus Spears of Everything ESPN will be joining us to talk about what he saw last night and Thursday Night Football and preview some of the rest of the week. TJ Jefferson, you and O'Shea Jackson Jr. are going to Indianapolis, Indiana to host the pre-WrestlePalooza show. What do we call it? It's not a game. Is it a pre-show?
It's a pre-show to the official pre-show.
What does that mean?
Nice.
It's like, in the song Gold Digger, this week we're mopping floors, next week we're on the fries. It's like we're moving up, you know what I mean? We're starting off here, we're the pre-show to the pre-show, then eventually we'll make ourselves up to the pre-show, and then hopefully we'll get to the main event.
Well, where's the pre-show on?
ESPN's YouTube page.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. But you're the pre-show. You are the pre-show.
Yeah.
And then you're the post-show.
And the post-show. Just found that out. Yeah.
Outstanding.
Can't stop them. They can only hope to contain them.
This is what's so wonderful. You and O'Shea Jackson Jr. Mm-hmm. First of all, you've been killing it on No Contest Wrestling. You've garnered a fan base.
I think.
Well, you have. I can say these things. You've garnered a fan base. You've built a podcast. You've put in the work. You and O'Shea. And now you're reaping some rewards, but you're also getting to know what it's like to talk with ESPN management, or you're seeing what it's like. Because I remember this back in the day. It's like, thank you for doing it. You must do more. And, oh, by the way, since we're liking what we're sensing already, how about some extra stuff? You're there. How about you come back? Right?
Yeah, like I said yesterday.
It's not like they're coming out of the gate, like doing an hour. No, now it's 2 in the front. Oh, and how about 15 in the back? Now, does that mean you and O'Shea will keep away from any WrestlePalooza libations that you normally would be potentially ingesting? Because you now have 15 minutes on the back end?
No, that stuff's like a truth serum. You want the truth at the end of the show, man.
The answer is you say no. They're watching right now.
Yeah, but come on. Everybody knows I'm not a drinker.
You are not. I know that.
Mentioned that on the show
I know.
many times.
You are not.
I mean, I'll have a beer or two, but I'm not,
Okay.
I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Exactly. You know how long I've been waiting for this? Since I was 10.
Perfect job for you.
All right. Thank you, Jason. That was the greatest drop you've ever done.
What are you thinking over there, Chris? Chris is like, what am I going to say now? I got nothing to say. Okay,
I got nothing. I'm proud of you guys. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait to watch.
Yes.
Thank you.
So what time does it start? Do we know the
3
time?
to 5. No, I got to check if it...
Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern. So I guess...
They could have slid that time now. It could be 3 hours long now, for all you know.
Well, I'm prepared for 10 hours.
Hey,
I got to be honest with you.
Would you mind doing it starting at breakfast?
Rich, I'll start it.
Indianapolis is in the Eastern time zone. I had to look that up.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
I was unclear.
What are you talking about? Of course it is.
It's in the middle of the country.
Yeah,
Why would it be Central?
I know, it can throw you off.
Yeah.
But, Indiana's
Eastern.
It is. It's
and then Arizona has no daylight savings. They don't switch.
Mr. East Coast, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're actually Midwest. We're East Coast.
Everybody make sure you're trained to either ESPN's YouTube or Facebook pages.
Please, we'd appreciate
to watch these guys do their thing, which I'm excited about. Oh, and O'Shea is a surprise for you.
Oh, gosh.
That's what he's been saying.
Okay. And I know what it is.
Oh.
I think I know, but I'm not sure.
Okay, No Contest Wrestling. It'll be great.
Now, we got to have to use the banner that has the ESPN under my chin there because we moved up.
We'll figure it out. PLE is what we call it. The
Premium Live Events.
Event.
That's right.
Used to be a PPV, a pay-per-view, and then way back in the day used to be closed circuit.
Well, you're pre-PLE is what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, very good.
Can we just call our show a PLE?
Oh, we've been a premium live event since we started, in our minds.
Since you were in the shower.
We should start calling this as a PLE.
We should.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
Who would deny us that?
Stop us.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Rich Eisen PLE.
No, it's not. No, we call it the Rich Eisen Show, which is a PLE.
Yeah.
We're working.
We're the original PLE. We're the OGs of PLE. We're the PLE OGs.
We're premium.
We're the Pleogs.
We're premium. We're
I just
live.
made that up. Corey and Balmer here on the Rich Eisen. That's line 3 for those scoring at home. Corey, what's going on, sir?
Hi, how you doing today?
I'm great. How are you today, Corey?
I'm good. Well, since it is What's More Likely Friday, what's more likely team to get upset in Week 3? The Eagles, Packers, or the Chiefs?
He's not cannibalizing anything of our hour 3. What's more likely?
Got to go back and check the script, but I don't believe so.
Okay, so obviously I'm going to go Eagles because I believe the Rams can win the NFC, and if they can win the NFC, they'd have to win a game like this. And the Chiefs are taking on the 0-2 Giants, and the Packers are taking on the 0-2 Browns. So the team that's most equipped to actually win the game on the road would be the Rams. But if you want to choose one where you're like not seeing it coming, that's a stunner that we're talking about. I'd have to go Packers because that Browns defense is no joke. I know what happened in the second half of the game in Baltimore, but I think the Ravens putting up 40 on the Bills in Week 1 showed you what they can do. And stranger things, it's the first game the Packers have played outside of Lambeau.
True.
But I think, Jay, you do know who the difference maker for the Green Bay Packers might turn out to be. There you go. So thank you for the call. Corey in Baltimore giving us some great food for thought.
I like that it always surprises you, TJ. When that hits.
My ability to gratuitously ask for our favorite new drop here, courtesy of Frank Caliendo.
Maca.
Who, by the way, apparently is if not this week, then the week after against Dallas. There's no way he's on a snap count going into that Sunday night game.
No.
Like Matt LaFleur would have to hydrate with the entire body of water that the Hoover Dam holds up.
Look, he better be on a snap count. He don't want these problems.
By the way, did you like
what problems are those?
Did you like my pull of the Hoover Dam? Is that what you were smiling about right there? I don't know of too many other dams in the United States of America.
That's the most famous one.
Where's that? Where's the Hoover Dam?